2, 1. Alright, we are live. Welcome to the Geekiest Theoreticus podcast. To all our current viewers at the moment who have jumped into chat, which seem to be Moraine, Carneth Corn, Nathan, and Calcio. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Sorry we don't have Arch on for this conversation. He had to cancel last minute, and to be fair, he didn't give me any guarantees anyway. But yeah, he's just got a busy schedule, so thank God I waited to advertise the stream. If I had just hopped that up there, that would have been bad. Here. Today we're going to be discussing, this is probably going to take up the whole stream, to be honest. I don't know if we're going to have any other topics to fit in. So, and plus I can imagine the rabbit holes. But the Valrak situation.
Wait a minute. So you use the term fit in and rabbit hole. At least we're staying on topic from the beginning.
Indeed. Alright, so before we get going, any steady rate, everybody introduce themselves, and then I'm going to ask a roundabout question we're all going to answer before we even get started. Alright?
Okay, I am Ludus, or the librarian at this point. Everyone knows me.
Wow. I'm Greg from Kill Team Hungry, and I'm a nobody.
You have more subs than me. What?
You have more subs.
If you're a nobody, what am I?
I'm the Hungarian who's never hungry, so don't...
Never hungry? I'm jealous of that. Alright, so the roundabout question...
I'm fat as fuck.
I don't think you got anything on me there, big man. So the question that I think is important to establish the answers to before we even get started on this is, what's everybody's opinion of Valrak?
Opinion of him as a person?
I'll say as a 40K content creator and community figure.
Okay, so I know of him. That's really it. Like I've said, off stream, I've had one communication with one communication with him. We had a bit of a misunderstanding. He was a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for here? He wasn't really aggressive about it, but I was just like, hey man, it was a misunderstanding. I'm just trying to be, we're both content creators, just trying to be cool about it, Don't want to, like any bad blood or anything. Just, hey, it was a misunderstanding. Here's what I actually meant. And he just didn't really say anything to me afterwards. So, take it or leave it for what it's worth.
All right. Greg?
Well, yeah. I mean, I found him, I found him a couple of, I don't know, maybe years ago. And yeah, thought he was... I'm sorry, that's my son screaming in the background. Hopefully his mother will take care of him. Deal with him, so to speak. So I met him. I found him a couple of years ago. I thought he was kind of funny. Then his topics were only just like this generic run-of-the-mill. It's gonna be a Primarch reveal next month. And bullshit, and I don't know. He became boring. I pointed out at one time that, dude, it's like I don't know. You're kind of boring at this point because every time it's just Primarchs. And as Ludus said, he went ballistic in the comment sections, and basically I just told him to fuck himself in the end. So I'm still a couple of weeks ago, I was on the opinion that Valrak should definitely go and fuck himself. Then I learned that he was in a close call accident, so he basically almost died or something.
Yes, he fell off his roof. He was doing some roofing work, and he fell and damaged his legs and his back.
Yeah, and his whole neck supported up in his last stream, he's got
a neck brace.
Saw correctly. The neck brace, that's the word. Yeah, and I was like, shit. And I just wrote him, okay, get well, and keep on going, and that's it. And I never spoke to him since.
All right.
Go fuck yourself. Oh, you almost died. Shit, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better soon.
Jesus.
I was like,
all right.
I'm not that kind of a scumbag person, but
I guess
Yeah,
I'm in the fringes here. I don't have a low opinion of Valrak. To be fair, unlike you guys, I haven't had any direct interactions with him, with the exception of a couple super chats I've sent his way during live streams. And of course, he's not going to be like rude or like standoffish with a super chatter. Typically, that's not how that goes. I wouldn't recommend it to any aspiring streamers. It's not a good business model unless that's your shtick. You're like, oh, you're an asshole to everybody. Then people will donate because of a masochism thing. I don't know. But in terms of my interactions with Valrak, they've mostly been indirect, and most of it has been fairly respectful back and forth. I tend to be one of the people. I don't hate Valrak at all. I do think he simps for GW. Because I think is people who call him a shill. I don't think he's a shill. I don't think he's paid.
That's an understatement. I mean,
Yeah.
he gets.
Oh yeah,
so
he
much
goes.
free shit.
He goes. Well, I haven't seen too much of the free shit. I've seen him buy GW stuff. Granted, I don't have his receipts in front of me or anything, but from what my interactions with Valrak have been, for the most part, positive. I tend to like there being a figure into the community who's more positive about things. I do think he goes a little far with his positivity. I think he's a little too simpish for the company. Like he'll make excuses for them. They don't even need to do damage control half the time because I know Valrak will do it. Yeah. Like
I mean, Siama Peterson made a get well Valrak.
Yes, and as far as I'm aware,
for him, I was like, the fuck.
They're friends. If I understand it, the two of them are friends.
Yeah, he helped him get his Twitter back or something. Well, not the Twitter, the account back when he was hacked.
Then I think they've had like private convos and stuff like that.
Apparently, Jorge Grasa says GW dislikes Valrak quite a little bit.
I can't see. I can't think why he doesn't ever diss their shit. Not that I've seen.
Maybe because of the constant price leaks he puts.
That might be why.
Yeah.
That might be why. But yeah, as far as other than that, him being a little bit overly simpish for GW sometimes, I tend to think he's a decent figure in the community. He's positive about the hobby, which we all should be to a degree. And otherwise, like, why are we in the hobby? But at the same time, you also got to be honest about the hobby sometimes if you want changes to be better and things to get improved. You need to be blunt and honest about things. Which I don't think... I think he's blunt and honest about the wrong things, usually. That's my take. But, but compared to you guys, I definitely have a much more positive opinion of Valrak, by the sounds of it.
So, Lazaro101 said, only thing I know about Valrak is he accidentally used an Arch commission and took it down once he found out claiming harassment. That's what me and him talked about. Because I was like, you didn't know that Arch commissioned that? He's like... No, why is everyone bothering about it? Like, hey man, I didn't know that you didn't know. I was just trying to figure out what happened. Not as part of Archer's, or your side or GW side or anyone's side. I was just trying to see what was going on, because it was something I didn't know. Like it was just an accident, which is what it seems happened, or what. I was just trying to figure out what was going on, and then after that, Jorge Grasa said because he leaked stuff. And is in contact with people, quote unquote, on the inside.
Yeah, he's quite vocal about it as well. He always says, "My GW insider." Yeah, leaked the I don't know, next releases, the weeks before the releases, all the price.
I know he has been talking about a possible Primaris Hellbricht model that's coming out soon, and some Black Templar updates. I have heard a bit about that.
That'll be delicious. I would
the
love that
the lore of that is going to be such shit. But an updated Hellbricht model from the miniature side of things, I'm happy about. Just not happy why and how they're doing it, lore wise. But that being said, that's been one of the things he's been bringing up lately.
Real quick on that quick little side note.
There's no quick side notes with us. There's rabbit holes.
With the Primaris Marines, either way, I win since I love Chaos because that's some shit Chaos would do anyway. So Either way, I win. They get to fuck with the Black Templar and make Chaos better. Cool.
I'm flipping you off. I know you can't see it, but I'm flipping you off. All right. So, given our perspectives on Valrak, by the sounds of it, me being the what would you call that? The devil's advocate. Thank you to whoever super chatted. Forlorn Lancer donated $5. Thank you, man. He takes the Imperial Fist Icon Warrior rivalry way too seriously. He has apparently kicked people from his Discord for being Iron Warriors fans. I did not know that. I know that I know it's a meme for sure on his. And to be fair, people say I take the Ultramarines seriously. I would I don't take them that seriously though. Like I wouldn't kick someone from the Discord for being a fan of Ultramarines. I would just mock them.
Actually, there's a guest we're talking about having on who, unfortunately, their schedule stays kind of pent up, but they're an Ultramarines fan. So
yeah, from how long that guest in air quotes has been in the running to come on. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
well, again, so he does have a full-time job and does YouTube at the same time.
I know. I'm not saying it's excuses, but I'm saying I don't. With how long you've been talking to him about it, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's. I
can hope because he would be an awesome guest. Well, also part of the reason is he has a new video series that just started on his channel. Because what was it? Mech Warrior 5. Just released, or the DLC for it, or whatever. Just
Mech Warrior 5, the game just released.
Okay, yeah. So that just
Are we talking about Razor Fist?
Oh fuck no!
No way in hell would you Razor Fist on here. What?
Well, he's been streaming Mech Warrior 5,
and so is Kibbs. So.
Oh,
that would definitely be an interesting choice for a guest on our stream.
Yeah. All right. So enough of the rabbit holes. We're gonna be all down them all day long. So let me just welcome any last minute joiners before we get into this officially. So I'll welcome officially Lazaru, iLoser, Merce Kitten, Finkarn, Forlorn Lancer officially welcoming you, MD Survivalist, and I think that's everybody. I did welcome Jorge already, I think. Yeah, so I think we've welcomed everybody who's in the chat. Welcome to all those who are not active in the chat. Glad to have you guys, and let's jump into this. Again, me apparently being the devil's advocate for, hey, Asgard, just got your message, and I'm up for joining. Okay, let me see. Are you guys okay? I know we've already started, but are you guys okay if we pull Asen?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
sure.
Keep in mind, he's not a 40k... major 40k fan, so he's gonna be the outside man on this.
And let me correct something. It's not necessarily. Holy shit!
What?
Look.
Jesus Christ!
Look at the chat.
Sweet fucking god! Thank you, Captain Caboose. Thank you for the super.
Captain Caboose, I'm streaming tomorrow evening, so I also do 40k.
Give me money. F Val, Long Live Asmo, Ace, and the rest. We thank you, Captain Caboose. Thank you, man. And stay safe on the road. Stay safe.
Holy shit. Yeah.
See, that's that trucker money.
I saw that in the stream before I saw it in the chat. I was like, am I reading that right now? So I come up in the chat like, Aspagan.
Somebody just typed the number in and just looked like the super chat. No, it actually is.
Lazarus said Aspagan found a sugar daddy. But let me
technically my sugar daddy is Nathan in terms of consistency.
But let me correct something real quick. So it's not that I have really a negative opinion of him. I have no opinion of him. Like I said, it was the one thing that was a misunderstanding. I don't hold that as bad blood. You know, I have really no opinion of him because I don't know the dude.
Yeah. Ace, welcome. I guess what's your opinion? So for everybody in the chat, Ace is a pretty regular person I do collabs with. You have your own channel where you do a lot of meme videos as well as streams that I get dragged into reading horrible modern SJW comics, which is great. It's great. It's torture. So that aside, Ace, you are not a as far as I'm aware, you're not a 40k fan.
Well, I do look at the lore and do like it a little bit. I'm not sure I would call myself a hardcore fan specifically, but
Yeah, you don't collect the miniatures, you don't play the tabletop, you don't
well,
read all
I
the
don't
books.
really. I do collect some miniatures, but I haven't really had much of an opportunity to do the tabletop. No.
Okay. So, I'll just say loose fan. You're a looser fan of 40k, or newer, maybe. That might work better.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment, I'd say.
Yeah. So, what's your opinion of Valrak, if you're aware of him?
Well, I've actually done one or two videos. I will say the man doesn't have exactly the best takes, but if we're talking specifically about the recent news, I assume we are.
Yeah,
Well, we're talking about him.
we're talking about him in general, like your general opinions of the man.
I will say this: I don't think he's a bad person or anything like that. I do think he might actually. I know Osbegon has in the past said something along the lines. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But usually he's just overly optimistic.
Yes. That is how I
To a
would.
fault.
He's overly optimistic to a fault. I would go so far as, in my most extreme opinion of the man, he can be a bit simpish for the company of GW.
Yep.
He definitely goes a little too far. They don't even need to do PR damage control for some of their horrible decisions, because he does it for them 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. A good example, the video that I talked about with regards to one of his takes was him defending Marnius Calgar one-shotting the Lord of Skulls in the Marvel comic.
Yeah.
The
His
one
defense
scene
of that was
that's
so weak. His defense of that was very weak.
Fuck.
Yeah. You know what his defense of that was, by the way? So he said, "Oh, in the actual comic, it even lists out other major things he's defeated right before he tears the head off the Lord of Skulls." You know what each of those examples were? It show you remember the Tyranids that he fought that ripped off his arms?
I think he would.
The fight he lost.
Yeah.
Valrak
No,
was using
it
that as
ended
an
in a
example. Well, ended in a draw. All right, we'll call it a draw. Yeah, Valak used that as an excuse of why he could easily Omaya wa mo shinderu the Lord of Skull's head right off with one arm.
Yeah.
Just a one shot. Because it's that easy, Oh, he fought these other things, so that means it's perfectly reasonable for him to one. Except those other things he didn't one shot, but okay.
Yep.
But that that was one of those cases where I had no defense of him. That was a complete bullshit argument. But like I said, he actively does damage control for GW on his own. I don't know why. I don't know why he seemingly rarely, if ever, calls them out on their bullshit. But if he is getting paid in the background, I hope it's good money. But all that aside, because we still haven't gotten to the main issue, and we're almost 20 minutes in the stream, what happened with Valrak? Thank you, Nathan, for the super chat, man. Thank you. Let's red pill Valrak. Thank you, based. Good luck with that. So with Chapter Master Valrak, what happened recently is on a stream. Thank you, Forlorn Lancer, for the super chat, man. Thank you. I hate Valrak. Oh, damn, that's strong. The first thing I ever saw from him was when I first got into the tabletop. I saw him whining that CSM got the Lord Discordant, almost entirely killed my interest in the tabletop. Let's see.
I will say to Nathan X, with regards to his particular comment,
I could see how that would affect your initial jump into the hobby. I could see that, yeah. So, I don't hate him. Again, Valrak has certainly got some interesting defenses and takes of GW, but hate, I definitely wouldn't go so far. But thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you. And AC, we're saying?
well, it's like I was going to say something with regards to Nathan X 2000, but we can talk about that a little later if.
I would like to actually get into the topic.
Yeah.
And we've successfully dodged doing that so far. All right. So recently, Chapter Master Valrak on a live stream, as far as I understand it, was reading off what I believe was a super chat. It might have just been a regular in his chat, but someone, I'm guessing, again, I don't have the clip, I couldn't find the clip, I'm surprised nobody has it, but yeah, I've not found it, I don't have evidence of it, this is just my speculation based on the contextual evidence provided not only by his own twitlonger, but also about what other people said over on Twitter, which during this controversy, I got berated by really psychotic people in my DMs over on Twitter, and it reminded me why I quit Twitter originally. So I deleted my Twitter. I was like, that's right, that's why I quit. So I quit again. It's a healthy choice. If anyone's over on Twitter and is constantly suffering from PTSD, I recommend a healthy choice to avoid that. Get the fuck off of Twitter. But anyway, it is a cancerous place. It is.
I will just twitch in my corner.
Just twitch in your corner. So, from what I understand it, Valrak was reading something off, and someone spelled out phonetically the bundle of sticks word, which I cannot say. I cannot say it because it's YouTube, obvious reasons. Additionally, not exactly
the English equivalent of a cigarette.
Yeah,
it's. Can someone DM Greg the spelling just so he 100% knows what we're talking about?
I got it.
I know.
Oh, you got it. Oh, you got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if
Eastern European. Come on.
I'm just saying. I've met some Europeans, especially Northern Europeans, who have no idea what the bundle of sticks example means. So just to be clear.
Oh God, I almost said it.
Don't. No, bad.
No. Bad. Come on.
No, I love the fact that it goes on Eastern European. Come on.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm assuming that, because the thing is, in the first defense I'll throw Valrak's way, by the way, for that is, we content creators, when we read off super chats, especially when they first, our first instinct is to read those instantly. We don't like read them over first and then read them. And the bigger of a content creator you are, the more super chats you're probably going to get, the more people who's chatting you're going to get, the more people who are going to flood your stream with those kinds of things, and it's polite to read off their super chats in particular. So if you're being inundated with them, you just want to get through them. You know, you also want to, if there are questions, you also want to give yourself time to respond, get to the next one, respond, get to the next one, respond. So we trust YouTube's system to filter out the really bad stuff, like the racial slurs, the general slurs in general about communities and groups. We rely on YouTube's system to do that a lot, so we feel safe in just, well, I say we. I don't know if you guys have the same take with your streams, but typically, now the thing is, I'm small enough that I do sometimes pre-read people's super chats if I feel like I have time. And then when I'm pre-reading, if I see like a slur or something, I'll still read it off, but I'll just go over the stuff that they're trying to sneak in phonetically. But again,
yeah, what's that like?
I know I've had comments myself where yeah, some stuff like that will come up every now and then. So, I believe Osbegon has actually been on. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
hear you.
Okay, yes. All right, so. But yeah, so Osbegon, for example, during some of my live streams, knows that I've gotten some comments from a individual with a rather interesting profile name and profile pic, we will say.
It was a swastika. And we're not showing the swastika. We can say the term swastika, I think.
Yeah.
Or is YouTube really that bad now?
It wouldn't shock.
Depends where it's pointing at. Because it's otherwise.
It was not
the Hindu version.
It was the flag. It even had the red background, the white highlighting it, and the black. It was the flag of the Nationalist Socialist Party.
Yeah, I bet you did not
Germany.
see that coming.
Thank you, Full On Lancer, for the super chat, man. Thank you. I may hate him, but would never try to cancel him. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. And you shouldn't. The thing is, you can disagree, not like, or even a little bit in your own mind disdain somebody, but that's no grounds to cancel them. And nowadays, I know that the internet's idea of cancelable offenses have turned into just this hodgepodge of common mistakes that back in the day wouldn't even be considered bad. They would have just considered normal banter. Like, who here remembers the Xbox Live days with Modern Warfare 2?
I do.
I remember. You know how many times I got called the N-word? I'm white as snow. I'm white as fucking snow, and I was called the N-word probably more than anybody else in a given day. It was ridiculous.
Hey, Ask McGon, you know what keeps me from having that problem, especially with games like Modern Warfare?
What?
I only play good games.
Oof.
Even with my bad takes, all the games I like are better than mine.
Everyone in the chat, just to give you an idea of what Ludus considers a good game, he likes Fallout 76.
I never said that was a. Oh well, no, it's
I will
gotten
leave it at
better.
that.
I wouldn't really call it good. It's not. I'd say it's probably about average.
Okay.
But I'll say this: the ending to Mass Effect 3 is better than all the Call of Duty games.
And yeah, but this, but again, back on track. The Valrak situation, him getting tricked. Essentially, what I typically refer to as the verbal version of a Rickroll, when they spell out something phonetically and then you say it out and it's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happened to him. Nobody clipped it, surprisingly, and you would think that the person who tricked him into saying it would have clipped it, but no, I've looked, I can't find the clip. I don't even know definitively if that's what he said. He might have said something actually even more vanilla, but that's again my contextual interpretation based on what other people have said and what Valrak himself says here in this twitlonger, which I will now read. Before I read it, any quick thoughts on just the general initial burst of the controversy?
First off, I do want to say this because
It's a nothing burger.
It is.
Yeah,
a nothing.
Sorry.
I'll say this as the LGBT member here, which we talked about in private.
Yeah, you're the B in the LGBTQ.
Yeah. I don't really give a shit what he said. It wouldn't really fucking offend me, A. And B, even especially if it was something like he read off that someone else typed and just wasn't thinking about it, he's not at fault for that.
No.
So anyway,
Alright. Alright, so I assume we're all ready to listen to the twitlonger. Alright, so this is from Chapter Master Valrak over on twitlonger. On recent content, I want to address some of the recent content from a live stream I did and content from my Discord server. That is another half of the controversy. I'll get into that, but I consider it something people tacked on the moment he was getting flack for the stream thing. The video of me saying the word I take full responsibility for, a comment was posted by a user in chat and I read it out loud. Sometimes I read comments from a stream without thinking and I massively apologize for offending or hurting anyone. Seeing my name linked with transphobia, so it might be transphobic related? Again, I don't know.
Well, I know there's more to it, and I can actually talk about that because I found some stuff there with regards to that.
Thank you, Nathan, for the super chat, man. Thank you.
was
Lesbian, gay, Bulgarian, and trans. What?
I'm not Bulgarian, but okay.
Oh no, we do. Yeah, we don't even have Bulgarians in here. We have a Hungarian. How close is Bulgaria to you?
We're neighbors.
Oh, you see right there.
I love that. we don't have any Bulgarians. Wait a minute, we have someone from Hungary. How close is Bulgaria to you?
I know it was close. I just didn't know it was neighbors. Yeah. So wait, what were you gonna say, Linus? Sorry.
I was saying I'm not Bulgarian. Shit, even Balkan would be closer at that point.
Balkan.
Balkan, like the Balkan Sea. Jesus Christ, get a map.
Alright, Ace, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was going to say you were mentioning the transphobia stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, that I think has to do with the Discord stuff.
Yeah, I have the screenshots for that.
Okay.
So that probably does, but I think that's I don't know if that's also related to the stream thing. Again, I'm still assuming
we're not neighbors.
Oh, you're not neighbor. Okay, you don't even know.
There's something called Romania between us, but okay.
Let me.
Romania.
We're neighbors of neighbors. How about that? Anyway, so seeing my name linked with transphobia really does. Okay, I'm not gonna get on his ass too much for grammatical errors since I can't even talk normal. Transphobia really
come on,
does.
use English.
It really does get me down as I support the LGBTQIA plus. How long is that fucking acronym now? The thing is, I know it's really long, but like I've looked it up in the past, and it was like it was like the alphabet twice over. At one point, it's like really, really long.
Well, I remember like 5 years ago is when they tacked on the Q because that was for questioning.
I
don't know what the fuck IA is.
I mean this in the most, you know. This is not a joke. Like, I'm not making fun of the name, but I genuinely have to ask, why do they feel like every single letter needs to be represented?
No.
Like, I don't understand the logic. Like, couldn't you just find a name that just encompasses everything?
I've always called it LGBT, and that is what I'm always going to call it. Because, you know what? There's no reason for me to spout off like 8 to 20 fucking characters. I'm not putting in a new username. I'm just talking about, you know,
Okay, so Sil says I is inter and A is asexual.
A is asexual.
Okay. So
why the fuck is asexual in there? They shouldn't be in whatever.
Because it's a sexuality, Ludus. It's
literally no sexuality.
It's a sexuality It's a sexuality unto oneself.
I love
asexuality. Asexuality is a sexuality the same way that atheism is a religion.
Ooh, it's Ace with the hot takes.
Yeah, in the way that it's not. I agree.
Is there the God brain meme?
All right, we're gonna get stuck on this. It's a minor thing. Let's get going. So the LGBTQIA plus community massively. Again, all I can say is that I'm sorry for saying that word. I welcome any race, gender, religion, etc. into Warhammer. The more people from different walks of life makes us stronger as a whole. I'm really sorry I let you down on that, and I hope you can forgive me for that.
Okay,
I don't think you. That's the thing. I don't think Valrak let them down. You got verbally rickrolled. You shouldn't even be apologizing for this, in my opinion.
And on
like, what did you do wrong? Someone fucked with you in stream. Great. Welcome to the internet. There shouldn't be any apology. Like, I'm very confused.
I want to point out where he said, "I welcome any race, gender, all that, you know, all that bullshit." Because I really want to
Iron Warrior fans, right?
Except Iron Warrior fans, but no, that's not where I was going with this. You know, and like I said, I don't know him personally. I'm not a member of his Discord. We've only had the one interaction. But, you know, if he means that, awesome. But I know a lot of people who say that shit do not mean it. And when they say it exactly that way, they don't mean it.
Thank you, Nick, for the super chat, man. Thank you. I'm pretty sure SCP should be a part of it.
Part of it?
What?
That's fucked up. That's funny.
Jesus.
But you know, like, they're always the one that go about, you know, yeah, everyone of every race, every walk of life, whatever, should be welcome. But as soon as you have a different opinion, they're like, no, fuck off, our space. So I'm not saying he's that way. It's just every time I see that now, that's immediately what I associate with it.
And yeah, that has always been confusing. It's like, we welcome all walks of life, like race, gender, religion, which, in my opinion, in terms of Warhammer and how it impacts the hobby, doesn't matter. Like, I don't care what race you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what religion you are. None of that impacts the fucking game. Like, yeah. If the guy across the table from me is Asian, black, Hispanic, that's all that came to mind.
No, because I picked on Asmagon for his ignorance. Hey, Greg, I got a question about Hungary.
Yes, please, sir.
Most people are kind of like olive-skinned or like a Mediterranean tan, right? In Hungary?
Where?
Mediterranean tan?
Like an olive skin.
Well, in certain districts where they speak with an accent and
thank you, Captain Caboose, again. Dude, you donated $100. You don't need to keep doing it. Just at me.
Wait, what?
Captain Caboose, thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you. This coming from the sea sucker that backed and loved Warhammer is for everyone.
Jesus Christ.
The sea sucker.
But anyway. But no, so my point is like
No, that's a definite no.
Okay. Because I thought because like in that area where it's right next to the Mediterranean Sea, there was a good percentage of people who had that olive tinted skin.
Yes, but they all live inside, so they're all really pale.
At least I didn't make myself look like an ass by not knowing where Bulgaria was.
Well,
Do you know where? Do you know exactly geographically right now? If I were to pull up a world map with nothing labeled, no borderlines, could you point it out?
I know it's between Hungary and Romania, so probably.
Do you know where Romania is? I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Right next to Hungary.
Well,
That is
I
true.
mean, I do know where all these are because I'm a big history buff, especially World War One. But when I think of Hungary,
Ooh, that's a sensitive topic in my country.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair. But
I mean, I don't give a fuck.
We're getting
fair
pretty
enough.
off topic.
But yeah, Hungary would be more like the Carpathian Mountains and whatnot, correct?
It's actually the Carpathian Basin. As a whole of itself, we are surrounded by basically Hungary is and we're really getting off topic. Hungary is the only country in the world which is surrounded by its former self. So every country or the major part of every country who's neighboring us was us. But as Ace said in World War One, excuse me, my son is acting like Pavarotti
super chat from Lazaru. Val is covering his butt from the cancel crowd, and our government. What? Dankula sends his regards. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That is actually true.
Right.
That is actually true, and we can come back to it, saying that I believe
that's an aspect about that I completely forgot. I forgot that it's illegal. It's straight up illegal to offend groups in the UK.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Valrak was fucking from the U.S. for
What?
I did.
Have you happened to hear the man
about
speak?
him.
Have you happened to hear the man speak?
No.
Oh god.
I
To be
know
fair,
nothing about him.
Oh my god.
That's why I was like, wait a minute, why the fuck would they talk about our government? Oh,
I'm starting to think Ace has more of has more ground to talk about Valrak than you do, Lutus. Oh god, sorry.
Everybody is having this kind of revelation in the chat that wait, Valrak is a Brit. What the? Of course he is.
What? Do you guys know anything? Oh my! How is it I know this and everybody else seems to be so confused?
No. The best part is everyone is having a revelation that when it comes to specific ass subjects like Bulgaria, Valrak, like certain parts in history, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Oh, Carneth Corn just hit this up in the chat. He might be from England, but he has the courage of a Frenchman.
Oh, Pindovel!
Oh, destruction.
That
Might want to
with
put
how
some
much
other way on that one.
with how much the Brits hate the French. Like so every Brit I've ever met hates the French. So that's brutal.
I mean, who doesn't?
I don't hate the French.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't hate the French. I make jokes about like the I surrender shit like everybody, but
like everyone, yeah. I mean,
and even they make those jokes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, even the French make those jokes. I know a couple of French people.
Anyway,
They think it's the funniest shit ever.
Back on track. Enough about geography and where that shit. To finish the point I was making before Ludus interrupted me. I will like anybody like. I don't give a shit what your race, your gender, your religion is. I don't care who you are across the tabletop for me. I don't care who you are when you're painting your miniatures. Your race, your gender, your religion doesn't add or take anything away from the hobby. It's just an aspect about yourself. It has no way, one way or another, on who you are in the hobby, nor does it have any improvement or degradation to the hobby. It's just an aspect about yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
None of it has anything to do with painting minis. None of it has anything to do with the lore. None of it has anything to do with how you engage with people in the hobby. None of that should have any impact on any of that, any of the hobby. So it's not it's just it's a null point. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
your race, your gender, religion does not matter.
You usually leave that. I mean, outside the door when you come into the club.
Yeah, you leave it. You leave it outside. It has nothing to do with anything.
in Hungary, we're like, oh, well, let's just say we're not one of those liberal countries. Then we'll just leave it at that. But here in my country, there's a big fashion on hating on each other for different political affiliations, and I know for a fact that XYZ is the very much supportive of the current regime, and I am not anything else, by the way. But we just like go ham on the internet. But as soon as we get into the club, we just like get down to the table, we just pack out and start playing, and not a single fucking word is mentioned about anything, politics, LGBT, whatever, what the fuck,
identity bullshit.
No,
and
none of that Marxist horseshit. We just play and then shake hands, and it was like, hey, want to grab a beer? Yeah, sure.
And that's how it should be. That's how it should always be.
And that's the most perfect part of the hobby, that you can just leave your troubles behind.
All that matters, all that matters when you enter this hobby is A, you actually want to get into the hobby. B, you want to learn more about it and you want to actually get into it. And C, you don't want to change it arbitrarily for political reasons.
No,
if that's what you want to do when you enter a hobby, guess what? I don't consider you a hobbyist. I consider you an activist posing as a hobbyist. You didn't come into this hobby with the desire to actually participate in the hobby and enjoy it for what it is.
It's 40K.
Yeah, it's just with seriously the bullshit that these people spout about. Oh, I'm a fan of this, but now I want to completely erase it and change it. Do you honestly, which is the most bullshit thing in the world?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm a fan of. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you ever say that, if you ever follow up your statement of, oh, I really like this thing, but then immediately follow it up with all of this shit should change because it's not politically correct from a modern perspective.
Well, so it's funny.
It's a fucking grimdark.
So I had a talk with someone I work with who knows nothing about 40K. And we actually talked about one of the more common things coming from a certain group in the 40K community, the female space marine. And so this is literally like a blind test. This is someone who knows dick all about 40K. They know nothing. Zilch nada. So I explained to them how space marines
That's just
work.
my knee-jerk reaction, sorry.
But so I explained to them how space marines work in 40K. You know, how they go through all the surgeries, and they are essentially sterile, like superhumans at this point.
Transhumans, I think, would be the term.
But that's from gigantism. And so I was explaining to this person, like, and there's a group that wants to have female space marines when there's already these other groups. Again, my two most common choices are the Sisters of Battle and the Sisters of Silence.
And female guardsmen.
And, well, I'm also talking about, like, those that can compete or have overpowered space marines.
Yeah, okay.
Female assassins?
That's very true, too. But no, so I pointed that out, and they said to me, then what's the point of a female space marine? Wouldn't they just look like the male space marines? I'm like, yeah, probably just with long hair. They would probably have very similar features because the way the Gene C makes them look like the Primarch. So at absolute best, you have probably what looks like someone who transitioned, who you probably wouldn't be able to tell first glance. Worst case, you have like a $20 drag queen.
$20 drag queen. And yeah, that is a good point about that aspect. Then, though we could go down that route, I think we've discussed it before, and B,
it was on the point of, you know, we were talking about different groups and their look at 40K, but even like people who have no clue about 40K are like, wait a minute, why does that need to be a thing?
Because it's identity politics. That's all it is.
Myrain just asked a question directly to me. What about a female Primarch? Maybe that could fix the pretty female space marines. Okay, there are two dead Primarchs. and they are known to be male. So of the 20 Primarchs, all 20 are male. Cannot happen. Sorry. There. Done. Solved it in less than 30 seconds.
One of them is Sigmar, right?
I changed my opinion about liking him.
I'm not going to engage in that. I'm not even going to humor that.
I'm just gonna get my butter knife and slit my wrist.
All right. I still have not even finished with this twitlonger. So just to recap for anybody who's just joining us, what's going on? I'll do it one more time, just because I know a bunch of people have jumped in the chat and I've seen it asked a couple times what's going on. Valrak got tricked. He got verbally rickrolled, is how I phrase it. Over on his one of his streams recently. He got someone spelled out phonetically the bundle of sticks word. I can't say it because YouTube. And because of that, he got in trouble with the usual up their ass, stick up their ass crowd over on Twitter. The SJW types, the nut jobs, who absolutely lost their shit. And to add salt to the wound of him making this, in my opinion, fairly common mistake. You know, people troll streamers all the fucking time. It's very common. And to add salt to that wound, someone snuck onto his Discord and took screenshots of like very testy things that were being conversed about on Discord. I'm just gonna say this right now. My Discord has some testy shit.
Mine probably does.
I'm just waiting for someone to put up their screenshots. I don't engage in it. The thing is, I curate it all in one chat on my Discord. It's just the not safe for work, dark humor. That's where all the horrible shit goes on my Discord.
Well, I have two.
And I don't typically engage with that. But people are allowed to... The thing is, people are allowed to say really testy, spicy things, I think, amongst friends. Because they all know each other, aren't seriously, like... well, serious about any of it. And even if they are, typically, it's better that they say it to a group of friends, and then everybody who's like, whoa, that's you, I think you're going a little bit rogue there. Let's have a friendly conversation and talk you down from your MGTOW tower. Let's talk you down from your almost transphobic tower. Let's talk you down from actually being those things that the SJWs complain are so rampant when they're really not. You know, the Discord communities and communities like that should be a safe place for people to converse. And it should also be a place where if someone has those testy opinions, they don't just get banned like, oh, that solves the problem. No, they still believe what they believe. And now they feel more indignant about it. And they're probably going to be more, what's the term, extremist about it. Because now that they don't have someone to talk it out with. So, you know, if someone, for example, in my community... I had a member of the community who went totally silent, but at the time, he was a confessed fascist. Like, full on, I know I am seriously a fascist, I believe in fascistic ideals. I don't even entertain authoritarianism. I don't even entertain the concept of it. I don't even bother. But I didn't do what the SJWs do, and throw up my hands, and I was like, no! And, you know, tweet about how offended I am, roll a ball in the corner, oh, someone believes in a system I find so offensive. No, I told the guy, look, I don't tolerate fascistic ideals. I find them abhorrent. I don't like fascists. I don't like authoritarianism in any form. I don't like those aspects. I don't like those ideals. Feel free to speak to them in DMs. Feel free to talk to me in DMs about it. I don't know if I said that last part. I did tell him, feel free to, you know, speak to people about it, but leave it off my server. My server's a non-political podium. You know, it's a community podium for my YouTube channel. It's where my community hangs out, talks about hobby stuff, talks about nerdy stuff. I have a chat for testy subjects, not dark, not safe for work, dark humor. You know, that's what that's for. I don't go down there very often. It's kind of like you don't go down to the dungeon. You know, you go down just to check to see if it's on fire, but otherwise you just kind of walk away. I don't really engage down there, but I let them.
I use my dungeon for other things too. So.
Well, yeah, yours isn't the same kind of dungeon. Yours is the.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I'm right. I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot. I'm sorry. Two different things.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think the way people respond to those who actually believe in those crazy things, all you're doing is making them more extremist by like losing your shit at them. Like the way Twitter responds to people who aren't even fat. Like, can you imagine if they actually met a real one?
Well, I can give you a example of just how extreme, because I actually just did a video recently. If you want an example,
How bad
so
of an example.
Oh, Nathan is getting a little offended. He doesn't mention me for a lot of Discord stuff. He portrays himself as a Lone Ranger. No, I do have Discord mods. I have a Discord admin. His name's Nathan. And Nathan goes down there. But I've seen what you post too, so nice try.
I mean,
So-
to be fair. Oh, go ahead, Ace. I'm sorry.
So that example I was going to tell you about. So, all right. So this is an example, and you're right. Although it's not just extremists that get pushed further on the political spectrum when you have the woke crowd losing their minds. It very usually is just ordinary people that are on the political center, or people that aren't really politically engaged in the first place, that just get this semi-truck of attention directed their way by the angry lynch mob of woke activists. So a good example of just how extreme some woke crowd can get. Video I actually had made of just yesterday, as a matter of fact. I ended up. So it turns out we're now at the point where we have people from the woke mob trying to unironically, and by the way, this particular case, the individual is an academic. This is an academic book that he's published and was reviewed and all that.
So academic in air quotes.
He actually does educate college students. A strong quotation on the word educate. But he tried to make the argument that Vietnam veterans suffering from PTSD.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Wait, did Ace cut out? Because veterans.
The suspense is killing me. What did he say?
Okay, so I guess he cut out. No, I've seen this one. So he made the claim that veterans.
To the plight of POWs and men at work.
Okay.
Oh, he's back.
Where's-
Ace. We're cut off for a good 10 seconds.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you like missed the entire claim. Essentially, he made the claim that veterans are faking PTSD to get attention.
Vietnam veterans specifically is what the book states. They were faking it to try to get white victim points. They were saying that it was white veterans trying to push it to get victim points because, according to him, the civil rights movement, they had to get victim points to try to. I don't know what the hell he's trying to. But the point is, that,
I'm pretty sure those amputations were fake.
yeah, he was also trying to.
Sarcasm for those who can't hear sarcasm.
I couldn't hear you.
That's what Ludus said. He's like, I bet those amputations were fake. That was sarcasm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Better have
I
been.
come from a military family. When people say
Same.
shit like this, I'm like, you're stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, and he also, like I said, tried to argue that the POW flag is a white
Ace,
supremacist
as much as
symbol.
I would
But,
like
yeah.
to let you keep going, as much as I would like to have a conversation
This
about this,
conversation.
No, it's off topic.
we
Fair
are
enough,
way
fair enough.
off topic now. Like we were,
You're right.
we were kind of on
You're
there,
right,
but
you're
now
right,
we're
you're
straight
right,
off.
You're right. You're right.
Anyway,
you're right.
as I was
I'm
telling
sorry.
everybody, as I was
I'm
telling
sorry.
everybody, yeah, Valrak got verbally rickrolled and tricked into saying the bundle of six word, and is on top of it. People also screenshotted some stuff, which we will show. I found them, screenshots of things that was said on his Discord of testy things. Let me finish reading this twitlonger, and then we'll get to that. Alright, so to address the Discord images, my mod team work hard to keep the Discord free from hate and bigotry. I've seen images that have been posted, some from years ago, and those images contain users who were banned a long time ago when they posted those horrible things. Which, yeah, as you'll see in the screenshots I will share, their names are white, which typically means that they're no longer active, or that
And
they've
some
been
of them
removed.
say, yeah, some of them say deleted user as well.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick for anyone who knows, because I really don't know, and I really can't be bothered.
I made
How-
it 2
how-
sentences. We're making progress.
How many
I
people?
made it 2
Good on
sentences.
you, Admiral.
Well, no, this is actually directly related. How many people are on his Discord? Or how many active members are on his Discord?
On his, I don't know. When I was on there 6 months ago, I think.
I know he's deleting it too, so that could be
Resources acquired.
I believe
Wait.
it depends on which one, because he has the Underhive and he had the Upper Hive. The Upper Hive was his his YouTube channel members.
The Underhive
thank you for
is
the
getting
super chat,
deleted.
man. Thank you. As a vet, Ace's video burned me up something fierce. I'm assuming you did a video specifically about that whole veteran thing. We're not gonna go down it again. But
Yeah.
just asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I did do a video.
Okay. But yeah, if I recall correctly, at the time I was there, the Underhive, which was the open public one, that had about, I want to say, this might be a huge overestimation, I think there were 600 people, 700 people.
Okay, so let's even lowball that. Let's say 400 or 500 people.
Yeah.
I only have 40 people on my Discord, and even with 3 moderators plus myself, there are times when none of us are on. So that is literally a tenth of the amount of people. When I don't know how many moderators he has, but even with more moderators, there are times when we miss shit. So it happens.
Yeah. I'm lucky. My mods are very, very effective. And credit to Nathan and Sil. Nathan and Sil, a huge shout out to them. They are on the ball, and I'm impressed half the time.
They're not here, but credit to my 3, Coda, Justin, and Lee. They do an amazing job, and I really couldn't do it without them because I have no time to.
Yeah, same. That's the same problem. It's just the amount of moderation I get to do is none. And that's it. I can't even imagine being able to do it without Sil and Nathan backing me. I really couldn't. Sil is always the devil's advocate and always gives us the more gentle perspective. Also, when we do find issues with certain members, she always makes very good points about the side of things that me and Nathan, if we see something that particularly ramps up our gears, she's always the one to bring us down off that ledge of rage and be like, hey, okay, here's the more calm way to look at that. Let's not go napalm on this shit. So without Sil in particular, I think Nathan and I would go a little bit more crazy with handling some particularly frustrating situations. But that aside, let's see if we could just finish this. The reason why you can still search them is so we can show people why they were banned. People were attacking the moderator team, saying they were shadow banning. Shadow banning, so we left the evidence for all to see. My mods on Discord try to make it one of the best places for Warhammer fans. Any type of racism, sexual discriminations, politics, and even lewd sexualized material are not welcome, and if a user is found breaking any one of those rules, they are banned immediately. To which I would say, if we're talking about banning real racism, real sexual discrimination, real overt politics, and sexual lewdness, pretty much those are my rules. That's pretty much my rules on my Discord are. If someone is espousing real beliefs in any of that shit, yeah, get them off. Or politics in general. I do want people to avoid politics. I obviously do a slew of warnings. I just don't want to just banhammer everybody. But as long as
wait, I'm the lenient one.
Apparently. The thing is, I've only had to ban 2 people. I've been pretty fortunate. And it was not easy. The thing is, I take banning people very seriously. It's not something I wave around like a gun. I ban somebody if A, they after several warnings they continue. B, if they directly oppose me or the mods. And that's like, on top of their infractions. It's not like, oh, we don't agree with Asmir's take on this part of the Discord. Ban. No. It's I'm committing several political I'm saying several political things despite being asked to stop multiple times, and now I'm telling the mods fuck off. Yeah, I'm tossing you at that point. Because at that point it's more I'm out of disrespect to my mods, who are, like I said, incredibly kind, incredibly lenient, and really they don't swing the ban hammer around at all. So yeah, I've been fortunate. I've only had to ban 2 people, and in both cases they were over the line quite a bit, and it was after lots of debate and conversation. That's how I handle it. No one is banned flippantly ever.
In my case, it's more of kind of like you said, which I guess because it's really worded differently with what he says, like they're banned immediately. I don't do that shit. Like I said, I have 2 separate chats in my Discord, one for NSFW and one for controversial shit, politics, what have you. So as long as it's kept where it's supposed to be kept, I don't really give a shit. Now, if it's something like outrageous, like some of the shit I've seen, specifically on Twitter, then yeah, I'll be like, okay, you need to knock that shit off. So, but since having my Discord for about a year and a half, I have had to ban. I haven't banned anyone. I've kicked one person, and that was more because they were coming into voice calls, screaming, and then leaving. That was more of them just being an asshole.
Yeah, but just leave on that. Banning people is a serious thing. I have another like mid. This is the last thing I'll talk about that, like banning people specifically. I do have like one mid-tier policy I also have in place where I kick somebody after like 3 warnings. I don't ban them. I kick them for 24 hours. I tell them in DMs, hey, you can't come back for 24 hours. Take some time to cool off. And please stop the behavior that you're espousing. And if you come back and you make that effort to behave better, you can stay. And we'll leave it at that. If they come back, if they come back before the 24 hours are up, ignoring my instruction to stay away for 24 hours, ban. If they come back after the 24 hours and continue the behavior, ban. I think that's perfectly reasonable. It's that one last olive branch I think is perfectly fair to offer people. Now, granted, if my community were to like triple in size, would I be able to do that for every single case? I don't know, but with a smaller community that I have, which I'm actually happy for sometimes with the Discord, it's much more manageable. Anyway, so back on track. Where did I even leave off? Okay,
By the way, our local Bulgarian has arrived in the chat, Alexei Grigorov. So,
hey, Alex, what's up, man? Welcome. Alright, so the server is one of the biggest Warhammer Discords, and we rely on users to help us find people breaking the rules. If anyone comes across and type of content that breaks the rules, all they have to do is alert a mod or PM, and the mod will take action and ban the user. Ain't that quickly? And I just want to end this by saying sorry again for my actions. I'm sorry if I hurt you in any way. Again, you didn't though.
What actions?
There's no actions. Worst case.
He's acting like some kind of a company, because usually companies make statements like this when one of their employees says some abhorrent shit on Facebook or some social media. Then the company comes out that this is not our policy. We are so sorry for what we have done, because they are associating themselves with this dude or whoever who is speaking on behalf of someone. But Valrak is his own man, and he was basically tricked.
Yeah,
as far as
he
and
got
as far as we
verbally
know.
rickrolled. From what I understand,
and it's like, and this is what I find extremely pathetic in this day and age, and with this whole cultural Marxism going rampant on the internet, that he is falling on his. I mean, does anybody know? I mean, I see a timestamp, 2nd of June. What day is it? Oh my god!
Today's the 3rd, so this is
It's
yesterday.
the 3rd. Okay, so I think this happened yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how fast was this issued? Does anybody know?
I
This
don't
apology.
know. I don't know when the stream was. I assume it was all within the same day, but it might have been over the course of 2, maybe 3 days.
So this is something either he just put out very fast, or he was having some template ready for it. That's not even the point. The point is that this is absolutely pathetic, because like he is not as you can, and I don't like Valrak. Let's just put him that way. But this is not something that he needs to do. But as some of you mentioned, the place he lives, the United Kingdom, and the laws, because this is what he said on stream in England. This is a hate crime. This is an offense which you can go for jail for, and
which I still find insane, and why I'll never live in that fucking backwards ass tea loving country. Sorry to all my Brit fans, but I have to say that I'll never live there. Fuck no.
It is. But this can be twofold: either for him avoiding jail, or him being catering to the also wide spectrum of fans he has, being diverse, and whatever he wrote here is too small to read, actually. Anyway, yeah. But if I would have said that, I was and are there any repercussions for this? Is there any kind of community uproar or public something demanding his blood?
Not that I saw. Like the reason I found out about this is because I followed him on Twitter, and I got the notification that he posted. As far as outside that, I didn't see anybody else losing their mind. I didn't see anybody else adding me saying like, "Hey, you heard about this?"
So nobody cares. We can assume
Twitter, like the more Twitter gives a shit. Trust me. Like
Twitter,
those psychopaths, they care, but they care if you fart wrong. Like if you fart in their direction, is that fart an attack? Is that a homophobic fart? Are you homophobically farting in my direction? Like, oh my god!
Yeah, you're like, how dare you? And it's like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's just him saving his brand, I think. Nothing else. He doesn't care. It's just him saving his brand. It's Pride Month. We all know what's going on. Yes, it is.
Oh, it is.
And I don't know. I don't know as a Hungarian. Why do I know?
Oh, that adds a whole nother layer to this. That means whoever tricked him into saying that via their phonetic spelling timed it perfectly and intentionally.
So yeah, I just see that as he's just saving face for the marketing reason.
And for legal reasons.
I'm more than sure. I mean, he has interacted me once, and that was the last time, because then I told him to fuck off. He doesn't care about this shit. I'm more than sure. He just cares about for the SJW crowd not to nuke his brand, and that's all, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right. Nathan, thank you for super chat, man. Thank you. No, I am very passionate about the freedom of speech issue in this country. I'll die for the right if I have to. I'm sick of our Orwellian state. And
F in the chat for anyone who's living in the UK, that's for sure.
And yeah, seriously, like, hey, this is the UK's logic. Hey, let's spend, hundreds of thousands of pounds every year to protect 2 child murderers. But protect them to the degree where you attempt to have a global ordinance where any sharing of their of their identity isn't it a federal offense, or is it a misdemeanor?
Dankula did an episode on this, I think.
I think you did.
I lost my mind on that. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why I'll never live there. When I found out about that, the thing is, my brother-in-law is from the UK. He's a Brit. I've told him several times, I will never live in your country. He's like, oh, but I love it here. I love it here. It's great. When you guys also spend, your parliament spends hundreds of thousands of pounds protecting 2 child murderers. One of which was found with child pornography and a manual on how to groom children as an adult. They're still
Okay.
protecting him. So, yeah, I will never fucking live in that country. Oh, God.
So, because I spontaneously...
Not to
grew a
mention the
brain-
other abhorrent shit.
Yeah.
So I just looked this up, and because I spontaneously grew a brain tumor, I went to Twitter to look it up. I went through the comment section of the file that you pulled up, and it's mostly people saying you don't need to apologize, but there are some people that are they have some special responses. Let's put it that way.
Thank you, Nathan, for
Oral
the super chat,
busybodies.
man. Thank you. Jail, it's jail for detailing those two
Resources
scum.
acquired.
Yeah, I'll never live there. I'm sorry, your country's fucked for that.
I'm not going to read the first half of this comment, but the second half of this comment is well, actually, I'll read part of it because I don't really want to give too much of it away. I've been burned by bad actors in this community too many times to easily trust again once hurt. Let your actions speak for themselves and grow as a person from this, then I will feel comfortable to trust again. Like, are you fucking insane, first off, that someone else put something in his, in his chat, he read it by accident, and then you blame him for having the respect for his whole chat.
And then to try and add some kind of validity to their bitching and moaning, they also screenshot shit from years ago on his Discord and try and wave that around like it's some kind of damning evidence.
Like, and to go back to what I was saying, so I fall under for those of you who don't know, I am technically a part of the LGBT community. I am not one of the whack jobs. I technically fall under bisexual and pansexual. No, I have to fucking say that now. Don't laugh. I'm not.
I laughed at the whack job.
No, that's the point. Is I have to say that I'm not part of the fucking whack jobs. But no, so I am technically part of the LGBT community. So for me, it's like I don't really give a shit what he said. He could have, he could have called me an F word. He could have called me a sea sucker. He could have called me a lot of shit. I wouldn't have cared. But that's also mostly because I deal with worse at work because I'm a cook and we're all very abusive to each other. But yeah, it's like, okay, so if he would have done that, I just wouldn't have shit to do with him. So all it really is like, okay, so if you call me that, or if you say, hey, this group of people is this, or this group of people is that, I just won't have shit to do with you. I'm not going to, try and fucking cancel you. I'm not going to try, like, hey, let's go meet someone, I'm going to beat your ass. Shit like that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just kind of like, I don't want shit to do with you. And Fincorn, no, it's, I have a combination of Nurgle and corn flavor chaos. But, which is funny, because actually Slanesh is my least favorite chaos god. But no,
Ironically.
so, ironically. But yeah, so it's just like, I don't get where these fucking people are coming from.
Neither do I, and I don't think any rational person does. Alright, so quick thoughts, like 2 sentences or less. What do you guys think about the statement? Craig, you pretty much already did. You said it was basically PR speak.
It's
for
Pride
brand.
Month. It's PR.
It's PR speak.
It was
I'd say...
he took opportunity to capitalize. I mean, I don't have any evidence on this, but it's Pride Month, and everything points towards that. I think this wasn't needed. This was superfluous.
Yeah.
A simple say like, oh shit, I got rickrolled. Sorry, it wasn't my fault. That would have been done. This is a PR statement we all saw from all the Hollywood stars, from all the celebrities who did identity politics faux pas, so to speak. This is textbook. This is a textbook apology regarding that. So that's my opinion.
I'd say my take is the same. I think there is a genuine desire to... I don't think there's a genuine desire to apologize. I don't think even Valrak thinks he did anything wrong. But I think there is...
He admits guilt.
There's
guilt.
Which is stupid. Like, why would you admit, hey, I did something wrong, when you didn't? You didn't do anything wrong. You got tricked into... Someone did the old school trolling that they've always done on the internet. They spelled out phonetically a word. You trust YouTube to properly censor and block certain words correctly. So you just read a comment mindlessly out loud, and then boom, you get tricked. It happens. It's happened. It almost happened to me twice. It happens. It's something that has always been on the internet and will always be on the internet. Welcome to it. Like, this is not an apology. This is certainly nothing worthy of a twitlonger. Hell, it's not even worthy of a tweet. It's done. Like, the moment it happened, it was done. Just move on. Just say, oh, whoops, sorry, that was a slip of the tongue, and block the person in the chat, and then call it good. Just keep going. But I agree. This is a PR speak.
Making a martyr out of himself.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would call this is, I think the only thing real in this is his fear of people coming at him for it. That's it. That's the only thing real in this. Everything else is just let me PR speak and save my ass, because I think I'm fucked.
The mob never forgets and never forgives.
No, they don't. They don't. They really don't.
There's no point in apologizing. It just get worse. Like the Serbian dude who was playing in the LA, I don't even know, the Los Angeles soccer team or something. His wife said something about some inappropriate. They think it was inappropriate, and he made an apology on behalf of his wife, and then he got fired anyway by the hate mob on Twitter and such and such. So yeah, it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. All right, so now you guys ready to actually Ace? Can you sum up your thought? Would your thoughts be around the same lines?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so let's get to the Discord chat then. Unless you have something different you want to add, just
let's go ahead.
All right, so Discord Discord messages that have also got Valrak and hot water. All right, so here's the first one. Let me read this whole thing out before you interject. We'll talk about it after I read it out. All right, so keep in mind, I'm just going to stress this for anyone who wants to clip this. I've got the stream. I got proof. These are not my words. These are the words of these users.
I would not read it word for word.
Well, no, not word for word, but I'm going to iterate them. All right, so...
I do have to point out, before you do, Osmagon, just keep in mind that Valrak, these weren't Valrak's words either, but they still went after him. Which
is retarded.
I'll share my thoughts on that afterward.
It is. It's so fucking... Before anyone gets on my ass, hey, he said retard. Before anyone gets on my ass for that, A, I'm autistic. B, I think I'm legally considered that in Texas. And C, I don't care. Of all the words, it still blows my mind. It still blows my mind. Like, listen, I kind of get going after the bundle of sticks. I kind of get going after certain other slurs. Retard, like when that became like taboo and was a social faux pas. What is it? When that became wrong to say, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" It's just another word for stupid.
Also, I mean, technically it's a word for slow, but
I will say this:
there's another word as well with spa. But I don't know if that's worse.
I don't know. Well, anyway, again, let me read through these. All right, so
yeah, okay.
The first guy says,
I don't buy imitation cheese. I don't date imitation women. Should have reworded that.
And then emoji of a guy drinking. Even in the old screenshot, it says I should have reworded that. Magna the PTSD man. Fuck the tyranny, you transphobe. In air quotes. A deleted user says, don't force me to pluck someone I don't want to. Actually, I've been saying fuck this whole time, so anyway. Don't force me to fuck someone I don't want to. Another user... I bet all of these are whited out, except for this Magna P...
I don't think all the white ones are necessarily...
I think they are, because in his chat, everyone has a role.
Oh, okay.
Everyone has a role. There's no... If I recall correctly, there's no role-less... Like, everyone gets... He has the Me Too bot.
I don't know.
The Me 6.
The Me Too bot.
Me Too bot. Oh, God. This is fucking me up. Yeah, but the Me 6 bot. Actually, no. Like that kind of works as
He's got a Me Too bot now. Look at how the left are trying to Me Too him, basically.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, like... Yeah, because I honestly, I didn't know, so that's just the only reason I brought it up. But okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, this Artemis person goes, scree, trans are self-deletion maniacs. Artemis, what? So this Artemis person seems totally confused. Scree, changed my mind. I come back to... Shh, okay, I'll go back to hibernation.
Before we move on,
So the thing is, this first one isn't even all that spicy, I don't think.
well, no, I would say, well, no, for crazy ass people, this would be spicy.
Yeah, but for like a sane person.
Yeah, but now I will say this: the only thing that I really, there are two parts that I could see being the worst, and that is, I don't buy imitation cheese. I don't date imitation women. I'm the fence sitter on that opinion. Yeah, treat people as they want to be treated. Is kind of like if it's someone who is transitioning, and they're transitioning from male to female, and they want to be called female, call them female. It's not that hard. That's where I stand on it. All you're doing at that point is just being a dick to someone for no reason other than you want to be a dick.
I would say I agree with that. Like if it's if it's she, if it's in pronouns we all know and are used to,
Yeah.
like she,
Or at
he,
least-
things like that.
Or if you get it wrong and they correct you.
But no way on this earth I'm just gonna leave it at this. Am I going to memorize pronouns like zim, zer?
No. That's again, I agree with that. But no, I'm saying if it's someone transitioning from male to female and they want to be referred to as she, her, that's fine. That's fine. But now the other one is the trans are how did you say it? Self-deletion maniacs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that statistic is actually pretty fucking high. So
It is I mean I could definitely, I don't agree with the sentiment, like that this person's obviously
Yeah, I
like,
don't agree with that.
I don't agree with the sentiment, but I guess the facts of that,
If you look at the factual data,
and it is true. I
it
wouldn't,
is true.
I wouldn't
But
say
putting
that
it
just because
out
you're trans,
in
you're a
that
maniac or you're crazy though. That is,
I will-
ridiculous.
There is
What
one
about-
thing I do need to point out with these comments, with the exception of that one particular comment. The thing is, these comments, with the exception, I mean, even that, but they're not even complaining about the whole pronoun things. What they're complaining about, what these comments are complaining about, is the idea that they need to be forced to date someone because that individual's identity.
if they're getting told to date someone and they fucking feel forced into it, then they are dumb enough that they should do it.
I would say that this is just like what I think they're talking about. Again, the problem with screenshots of just this snippet of the conversation is
Yeah, it takes a lot of
you don't know where it very first stemmed from. But my assumption is they're talking about those crazy folks who say like, oh, if you don't date trans people because you have the preference of a natural born woman, that you're like transphobic because of that. It's the same people who say to those same people. I would say so. Okay, so if so, does that mean I can tell a lesbian that they're discriminating against men because they won't date men? It's the same kind of idiotic. It goes both ways. It's idiotic both ways, but they'll only think of it as idiotic based on what I say. It's only discrimination one way apparently, but that's the other thing.
It's basically the same as what they did with the woke crowd did to cancel August Ames, and well, I don't need to go too much further into what happened there. I don't think.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's the weird part of it's just such a stupid and like for me, all you have to simplify it is some people just don't like the D.
By the way, Greg is hopping out real quick. He's got to help his wife or something, so we'll see him back in about 15 minutes. So keep going.
Best of luck.
But some people don't like the D, so if they don't want to date someone who has that particular set of genitalia, they don't have to. Now, I go back to the point of if you are special enough that you believe you're being forced to date someone, then you are special enough that you should date them.
And I personally don't particularly care. Like, I don't particularly care about whether you're like born a natural gal or not. I don't, you guys know, how, well, at least you, Ludus, you know the story about, like, my last ex who was my...
Dig this old faster, damn it!
yeah. You know the whole the story with my ex, who was a natural born girl who busted my ribs with a baseball bat because I still don't know. Whatever the case,
crazy.
I mean, again, we were just having a meal. She went quiet after I mentioned a new coworker that we got who was annoying as hell, who happened to be a girl. And then baseball bats. Then she went down the hall when we were supposed to watch a movie. And went down the hall. I thought she went to the bathroom to clean up. I took care of the dishes. Was walking to the living room portion of her apartment. I hear her running down the hardwood hallway. And by the time I turn around, she's got a bat swung behind her. And I go to defend my face. And she swung down to my ribcage.
And she Mickey Mantles your ribs.
It was bad. It was very bad. But yeah. Personally, I think no matter whether you're natural born or not, you can be fucked in the head. I would say, though, that with my experience with, and my personal preferences, I would say I'm not opposed to dating a trans woman, like male turning to woman. I don't have a problem with that. My only rules are you can't have the elephant trunk still. That's about it. And you
can't do the D apparently.
No, I don't. Like, no, I'm unless you always want to be on bottom. And
wait. Not. I just thought of a funny one. Not even if it's Sunny D.
Yeah, but
oh god, I'm horrible.
That's just my take, though. I'm not opposed to dating a trans individual with that in mind. I've dated that as long as you as long as you're putting in the effort to resemble. I'm attracted to the female form, so if you take effort to resemble the female form and you're not a psychopath like my ex, I can work with that. Hell, the elephant trunk thing. I could, I'm not gonna say too much about that, but that I could at least have a conversation about. As long as you're not a psycho. That's my only rule now, really.
I love that. I love how you word that. That's so great.
We can have a conversation.
I love it's like, even the elephant trunk. We can have a conversation just as long as you're not a crazy bitch.
Honestly, anything's an improvement, I guess. Ow. Bash my elbow.
I personally, I'll admit, I think I've already said my piece before in the past, so.
Winter's King has begun growing increasingly desperate. Sorry, Ace.
Growing increasingly desperate. I think it's not even desperation. It's just I've learned from first-hand experience that, my preferences don't always lead to the best results and the most sane people. So plus, as far as I'm concerned, again, I'm attracted to the female form, but I have no particular. I don't require you to be that naturally.
I don't know if it's just high pitch, Nathan, because I'm pretty sure I can do my high pitch. I'm pretty sure I could do my high-pitched voice from work, and it would catch on my mic. I think my microphone hates me. But I'm sorry, Ace. I interrupted you. What were you saying, man?
Yep.
I think I've already stated in the past that I'm technically super straight.
Yeah, that new one. Isn't that orange and white thing? Isn't that what the colors are for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The last thing I'll address is, and you didn't press charges. Why? Well, not to do like a reversal stereotype, but I did Okay, so I didn't press charges initially. I did go to the hospital because she did break my ribs. It wasn't a crack. It wasn't a bruise. She broke my ribs, several of them.
I got fucked up.
It was a baseball bat. It was an actual hardwood baseball bat. It wasn't a softball bat. But I did go to the hospital after I coughed up some blood. That wasn't good. They treated me. They said, okay, good news is there's no lung puncture. It looks like it's just some minor internal bleeding. We can handle this with certain, I won't go through the medical stuff. But once I got that resolved, and I told me and my friends went out drinking to our local bar, and we were chatting. I couldn't drink at the time. I could go in and order snacks, but I was 19 at this point. But I went in with my friends who were all older, 20, 21. One of them, my oldest friend. I won't say his name. I know for a fact he doesn't like it when I talk about him on stream. But he's 30. I was sitting down at the table with them, and I told them what happened. It was the first time I actually was honest about it with anybody but her at that point. It was a week later. And I said, I think I should go to the cops. And my oldest friend laughed. Like, straight up laughed. He said, best case scenario, the cops will laugh at you as I'm laughing at you now. All you can do is break up with her and hope she doesn't attack you then. And they all kind of chimed in after that, and they all kind of agreed, like, yeah, there's no chance you're going to win. The cops won't take you seriously. Good luck finding a lawyer who won't be there for any reason other than to swindle you. That's about it. And plus, the only evidence I had was having gone to the doctor. And when the doctor asked me what happened, I didn't even tell him what happened. So, at the end of it, there was no case to be had.
It actually reminds me of it actually reminds me of a similar story of a guy I knew that was law enforcement, as a matter of fact, or no, corrections officer, so prison guard. Dude's wife, and this is another reason why that, as much as I hate to say it, pressing charges was probably not the smart move there. But here's why. So, guy I know. Dude, his wife charges at him with a fucking knife one night. He ends up slapping her in the face because she charged him with a knife, taking the knife out of her hands. And when the cops got there, even though all he did was defend himself, basic self-defense, they charged them both with domestic violence, meaning that to this day, even though he's a correctional officer, a prison guard, he's still not allowed to own a firearm because of that particular charge. And it's been, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, and
the laws are just...
I don't want to stay on this topic too long. I want to keep going. Fair
enough.
But I'll leave it off by saying, if there's any young men out there who are in the similar situation to what I was, I would say this. Get out of the relationship. Hope to God you're not married to them, because that divorce will not end your way, ever. But get out of the relationship. Try and be as amicable as possible. Learn to duck and dodge and weave. And get out of there. Find someone sane. Find someone good. Find someone genuine. That's all I'll say. And that's why, again, at this point, I am a lot less picky. My standards are you sane? Great. Running with it. But yeah, that's all I'll leave off on it, because it's making me a little meh. It's bad memories. I don't want to dwell on it.
Understandable.
Right, so this is the next screenshot. And is there anything you guys want to say about the previous one last minute?
No, I was going to make the joke how Asmagun was rationalizing the D, but we can go on to the next one.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, so next screenshot, again, you'll notice all these are from July. I think those are January, aren't they? Because it's day, month, year. Yeah, so that's so each of these are the 18th of January 2020. So these are over a year old. Actually, they're almost over a year and 6 months old. Almost. So yeah, that's one thing to note. But on this one, I'll read them off real quick like we did last time. This acronym, again, convenient that they cropped out that, whatever the acronym is they're talking about. This acronym, find just
Resources acquired.
thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you. Forlorn Lancer. I got she SH'd in the army. My Sharp officer. Sharp office didn't even try to help. Army doesn't care about female on male abuse. And I wish it was, and not that I wish it was just the army. I wish it wasn't like that at all, but it's like that, not just in the army, but not just in the military, but in society as a whole. And that's how it is. It's not ever taken seriously, nor will it be. And I'll leave it at that. But thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it.
So, from the context, I think they just put in the LGBTQ acronym into
Okay.
something, and that's why they're talking about it.
They might be talking about that. Is that they added the Q later? Dank Chungus. Apparently, this guy is a removed user because again, it's white. So is that Mr. Normal and Warbosh Gagansh, but I can't fuck. Anyway, genuinely, a trans person threatened to punch me because I said summit they didn't like. The only reason they didn't is because too many people like you. What? I'm confused.
I don't know.
No, they threatened to punch him and said they wouldn't because there's too many people like you. And they threatened to punch them because the dude said something that the individual in question didn't like.
Yeah, I think we can only speculate about whatever that's, or
Yeah.
whatever that. I'm not.
That could be anything. I don't have.
Yeah, there's literally there's no way to. That's just what. Thing is, there's no context. Like it's from a biased perspective, so we got fucking nothing.
Hold on a minute. Let me scroll up because I can't read it on stream. Someone.
Greg says he's back. Are you actually back, or did you leave again? Nope. He had to go. I'm assuming it's still filling up the top. Okay.
So what might have happened is might have accidentally called a trans person by the wrong pronouns. It looks like might have accidentally called a.
And yeah, but that's still speculation because all he said is.
Well, no, I'm looking through it. That's about.
Okay, yeah, because the next thing he says is, "Do I look like a sir to you?" So that's not without quotes though. But
Actually, I think it's referencing the whole "it's ma'am" thing from that GameStop.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the last person is. The Dank Chungus dude. Again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that is directly related with what he's referring. Again, we're speculating about a situation.
I think that was from that video where the individual there says, "Do I look like a sir to you?" Gets real pissed off and all that. So I do think that's a reference to that meme video.
Yeah. And it's speculating a situation we have no details about and are getting it from only one side on top of everything else. And the fact that it's not super important. In the grand scheme of things, I'm not sure what in this screenshot is a gotcha.
Nothing. But I will say this. I will say this. I'm going to out myself a little more here. Because it's relevant to the conversation. So, me and my wife have dated two.
I lost connection. There we are.
But we have dated two people who have transitioned from male to female. Both of them, one was early on in the transition, the other one was not as early on, but still kind of like in the middle of it. So there were still more masculine features, especially in the face. And I have seen both of them called sir, and they took it very gracefully. They said, I'm not a sir anymore. Could you please call me ma'am? And most people were kind of cool about it.
And most people would be.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Again, though, in terms of this screenshot, in terms of like what is a gotcha about how quote unquote how horrible Valrak's community is, this is tame. And
there's nothing there.
None of them are saying anything particularly horrible. I mean, they're talking about it, and one of them gave a situation they were in where they were snapped at by somebody, and of course they're not going to speak of that person in a positive connotation. But otherwise, they're just after that they just make some quick jokes like "it's ma'am," referring to the GameStop person. Everything here, like I'm not seeing.
Okay, Fincorn wants me to repeat. So, shorthand, my wife and I have dated two male to female transitioning people. And one was earlier on in the process, but the other one was about midway through it, I believe. So they still had some masculine features in the face. I've seen both of them called sir out in public, and both of them took it very gracefully and like, not a sir anymore. Please call me ma'am. And that's the short end of it.
Yeah. So to recap this whole situation so far, Valrak got verbally rickrolled and tricked into saying, I assume, again, we don't have the clip, so we have no way of confirming. We can assume, probably, that he said the bundle of sticks word. Okay. again, he didn't say it. He was tricked into saying it. It was a mistake. Nothing there to apologize for. And these screenshots, which are supposed to add to what is already a nothing burger at best, and not even worthy of making a community apology. But so far, the first two screenshots are nothing. Like, there's nothing here.
But you thought they were nothing. Wait till you get to the third one. The third one's like the ultimate in nothing. Fourth one I could see. Third one, no. Like, first one and second one, there's like a couple of spicier things. Nothing really too serious. Fourth one, yeah, there's some pretty spicy shit in the fourth one. But the third one is just like, I can't even twist this shit into being spicy.
Yeah, whoever took these screenshots and thought that this was some kind of, like, what kind of backwards mindset do you have? Like, there's nothing here. It's enough. This is about as nothing burger as it gets. And this guy mentions, they're talking about the LGBTQ plus shit and the acronym, which, to be fair, there's plenty there you can make fun of. I mean, come on. We made fun of it at the beginning of this stream. Like, why do they have to have every fucking letter represented in the title? Just find it. In my opinion, any group should just have one encompassing title. Just making an acronym that's like every single sexuality, and you're inviting jokes about that at that point if you don't come up with an actual proper name for your quote-unquote community. But yeah, other than that, like, that's tame as fuck. Like, they're not saying anything I would at all call transphobic. They're not saying anything homophobic. They're just the worst here, and that's worst in heavier quotes, is ma'am, the ma'am joke. Again, I'm still left speechless on what the hell Valrak is apologizing for.
Nino Curic asked, but why Bam, not Miss or Mrs.? It could also be a cultural thing, because I live in the southern half of the United States, and ma'am is actually a very common word where I live. So that could be another thing, too. It just could be common in their vernacular.
Up here in the north, typically we use stuff interchangeably. If we call you Miss, it's because you're young. So if you at the very least look like you're 20 or below, or if you look, I'll say on the crisp of 30s and below, they'll say Miss or Dear or stuff like that. If you appear to be older than that, if you appear to be like 30 and on, if you almost 40, it's ma'am. Like it's used in a terminology of speaking to someone older, wiser, supposedly wiser, and an older member of the community. So it's ma'am versus miss. Miss is for young, ma'am is for older and wiser.
Well, for us, we have the three. We have the Miss for unmarried, Mrs. for married, and Ma'am is just kind of like the general.
Yeah, but you're not going to ask your waitress if it's Mrs. Like,
no, you can sometimes tell by the ring.
Well, sometimes, yeah. And typically, I would say most people don't look for the ring around these parts, though. It's just, oh, hi, and if it, like, catches your eye, then you're like, oh, Miss or Mrs.
That makes Southerners sound creepy, because that's something that they actually like. So, it's like a common thing, like, where I live, it's like, oh, yeah, how long you been married? Oh, I'm married. Okay, and then we'll just say, like, Miss or whatever.
Yeah, here in the north, everybody's a lot more, like, keep to yourself, don't inquire or push at people and, like, ask them personal questions unless they invite it in some way. Like, we're pretty independent people here in the north. Like, you don't just insinuate or ask questions about people. So yeah, we won't look for a ring. If we call you Miss and they're like, oh no, I'm actually married, then we'll correct it. But we're not gonna look for a ring. We're not gonna, other than just a brief glance at you to see how old you are or how old you appear to be. That'll be about it that we look for. But ring, looking for more detailed jewelry, no.
I would be kicked out of Maine within a day.
I don't think you'd be kicked out. You'd get a lot of dirty looks, though, if you ask too many pervasive questions about people. And it's unusual, I will say that. It's the only people who get away with it around these parts are the old ladies.
who are like, "Oh, how are you, dear? Oh, I see that you have a ring. Oh, you're so young. They're getting married so young these days."
You know, like then you're like, okay, yeah, she's old.
Oh no, I give information a little bit too freely, to the point where some of the people at work have come up with a name for a group of me, a couple of the cooks, and a couple of the servers. You know that phrase, "Birds of a feather flock together."
Yeah,
Yeah. For us, they call us freaks of a feather.
yeah, it still works.
It does, but it's there for a reason.
Fair enough.
But yeah, do you guys see anything in this screenshot at all?
No.
Yeah, no, it's it's still nothing.
Like I said, the only one I could have seen was the whole like Sir Ma'am thing and like the guy getting punched in the mouth. But I have to really twist hard to make that one work.
Yeah,
I have to. Well, one of the things I will say is that you have to remember the woke the woke ideology assumes everything is political, which would assume. So that would assume that. That would suggest that potentially you might have one of the activists just looking around. I can just picture him just sitting there going, what is the political meaning behind this individual saying it's spam? It must have a deeper political message.
instead of being a meme.
Honestly,
Yeah,
shit wouldn't
exactly.
surprise me.
Yeah, so we have the third screenshot here. CGI and shit.
This one literally has nothing in it.
Yeah, I'm the thing is, this third one, actually no, it's the fourth one that said it, because I found all these on Twitter. The fourth one is the one that people said, and it gets worse. So I was about to say this is the one, but nah. This is part of the initial share. Again, the person who initially shared these, all I have to say to you is, are you dumb? Like, are you dumb? If you ever watch this, are you dumb? You have to.
Do the windows on the short bus taste like snozzberries?
Like, this is just there's nothing here.
The proper way to speak to the individual that thinks that this is offensive is to tell them to go apologize to the nearest plant for wasting the oxygen that it has produced.
Yeah, this is a nothing burger. Like, get over yourselves. That's all I can say.
I have to wonder if they're offended at this because someone said remove kebab or something, without realizing that's just another meme.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I could think.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, what? Like, I don't even fucking get it. I don't even get the remove kebab thing. That's why I'm like,
It could be another thing about trans individuals.
It's actually kebab. Remove kebab is ironically enough, it's a thing about kicking the Ottomans out of Eastern Europe during the 16th, 17th century, 18th, 19th. So from the Renaissance to the Industrial era. It might also, to a limited extent, also be referring to the Serbians, if I remember correctly, kicking Muslims out of Serbia during the Balkan Wars and whatnot later on.
Are you sure it's that complicated? I thought it was just in reference to the elephant trunk.
I'm pretty sure it's in reference to...
Keep in mind, you're talking about HGWs here. They don't know shit about history.
Well, remove kebab is specifically associated with the Balkans and about removing Muslims from the Balkans historically.
I don't know.
If I remember correctly.
I guess we can go with that, but as far as, at least the trend of these last two, they've all been about trans to some degree, so I'm just assuming it's the same thing here.
Hold on a minute, I'll find out.
This isn't trans. No, it's not. Which is ironic, given that given the circumstances, but...
Resources acquired.
Thank you, Nathan, for the super chat, man. Thank you. Ace, it's the Serbian one. Remember the accordion?
Yes, you're right. It is the accordion thing. So the Serbia strong remove kebab meme.
Yeah, I guess that shows how poorly educated I am.
Okay, I can find you a video of it maybe or something. Okay, so I'll give you an image. It's
okay. KTH is gonna have to go for the rest. So. Alright, yep, KTH is out for the rest of the stream. That's fine.
Have a good one.
So it's just us.
Ironically, he could have probably told you a little bit more about the remove kebab, because I know he's from Hungary, but he's not too far away.
Yeah.
Here's an image of the Remove Kebab dude or its artwork, but it became a meme
okay.
for, now you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know. I know of the meme. I don't know all its historical implications.
Oh, it's from the Balkan. It's from a patriotic song from the Serbians during the Balkan Wars in the 90s.
Okay. Okay, so he says he'll try and come back. Okay, so we may not be out of him for the rest of the stream. I don't know.
Now, there is a reason why it's considered spicy these days, fairly recently, although...
Order Socium says people are literally searching for things to get pissed about. The lack of life, purpose, and fucking soul, too. Yep, and I would agree with that.
I agree, Eurosocium. That's the thing with everything is political, though. You have to... Everything is political means you have to look for things to get offended at. Because, again, everything's political, so it must have political meaning.
For some reason. Alright, so I put up the fourth screenshot here. This is the spiciest one. For those of you wondering what I censored out there, it's not, it doesn't end in ER. It's RO. It is the N-word. I don't know, it's not the hard...
It's not Spanish for black.
Yes, it's that. Okay.
Oh, it's Spanish for black. So it's Spanish for black rather than Latin for black, like the spicy version.
Yeah, it's not ER. I'll just say it doesn't end in ER. It's RO.
Murderous Kitten says to me, not Balkan Wars, Yugoslavian. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. You know what I meant though, but you are correct.
Yeah, I censored it just because YouTube is, that, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure how YouTube reacts to that spelling or that pronunciation. So, just to be extra safe, I had to censor it. God, YouTube. The thing is, it's not even the what most people would consider the bad version of that word.
It's the version that in the 1940s was considered politically correct by the civil rights movement.
Was it?
Yes.
I'm really showing my lack of history knowledge here. To be fair, I know most of my history knowledge is like Greece. Like ancient Greece, their mythology, a little bit of the Roman Empire.
Well, like I said, even the spicy version historically originates from the ancient Roman word that, and I kid you not, literally translates to black man. The spicy version with the hard R. It's actually impressive that all that's changed over the thousands of years is that they added an extra G to it. But otherwise, it is the exact same word, apparently.
I suppose. But yeah, just because YouTube is YouTube, I censored it. So this one is my friend and I. Then the next person says they were that desperate. That means your dick is boring. Don't you badmouth my boy Rommel. He didn't do nothing. They started using that I don't know. Will YouTube get on my ass for that? Oh no, we said it earlier. We said it earlier, didn't we? They
started using the challenge. I was going to say challenge, but okay.
Okay. The physically challenged. He a good boy. He a good boy. He go to church.
Yeah, I want to see you figure this one out.
I think I've already figured out what they're complaining about as this, but...
Toothbrush stash did nothing wrong.
I was wondering how you were going to go with this. That was actually be like, what would be the funniest thing to say? That would have been it.
Well, I was going to go with the world's worst Charlie Chaplin impersonator, but...
That's too long, though. It's got to be...
Yeah.
That's like a sentence. Toothbrush stash did nothing wrong. Vegetable bombs. That was random.
Okay. Oh yes, how dare they comment about vegetable bombs?
Okay, so the worst... the worst...
When they talk about using the challenged, and then they're going to vegetable bombs.
Oh, okay, that's what that connects to. I was confused what that connected to. I would say this one is definitely worse than the other ones, but even then, It just seems like this is normal troll shit talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've seen worse than this in nicer discords. Yeah, we don't have context for what this Woody person said for why they say. I would like to know what led to him saying that, but I don't know. The thing is, we don't even know if this guy's American. In his country, that might be like the normal way of saying that. I don't know.
He could also be, well, he could also be born with a certain word pass anyways.
Possibly. That's the other thing. Like, you can't tell, like, who people are behind the username and the avatar, so any of these people could be of that persuasion. No, that's not even persuasion. Of that inclination.
That's skin color.
Yeah. The worst thing other than that in this is Toothbrush Dash did nothing wrong. I mean, that's a common troll.
I mean, that was almost a Mountain Dew flavor. So,
And seriously, like, that's a common troll. Like, I've seen that in my YouTube stream chat. I've seen people say that literally in Twitter threads just to piss off. Like, typically you'll see it a lot on SJW posts because they just want to piss them off.
Oh no, what's worse is I've received worse from SJWs.
And yeah, this is am I wrong? Is that not a very common as hell troll?
it is a very common one.
Like, I see it all the time, and I'd say out of the percentage of people who say that who actually mean it and are not just trying to start shit and aren't just trolling, I'd say it's 1% to 99%. Like 99% of the time, especially if it's on a stream or on like a Twitter thread, especially if it's an SJW post, it's typically someone who's just trying to rile people up. It's a troll. You know, obviously it's a wrong statement, but at the end of it, that's it. It's just something people say to rile up the overly sensitive. It's an overtly wrong sentence. So I don't know. Like, I'm not impressed by these supposed gotcha screenshots. This is the worst one we found, and this ain't nothing. Like, we got one troll who was just trying to rile people up, and we got one person who we don't even know if, you know, what they said is necessarily wrong. They didn't say the hard ER. That's and hell, they might be of that linguistic background that's just saying black in their language. Like, we don't know. So this is nothing. Nathan, thank you. Thank you. Me and Sil clearly have it easy. Such hatred. I know. My God. It's the end of the world. I don't know. Like, do you guys agree, or am I off base here?
Again, it's a nothing burger.
Yeah.
I guarantee you what's happened here is when Valrak said whatever he said by accident, someone decided to go looking years back through his Discord, all the way back 2017, just to find things to get offended at.
People need to get a life.
To be fair, how much do you want to bet that these sort of people doing this are the same sorts of people who refuse to go outdoors right now?
Fincurrent says, I am a native Spanish speaker, and I know it is bad form to mix languages. Don't think that is an excuse. Okay, well, that was not really an excuse as much as I was just wondering that might be an explanation. That said, it is still a nothing burger for people to get offended at. And yeah, I wasn't really trying to excuse it as much as I was just trying to understand the reason it was said. I would like to know what the full conversation was that it led up to that. I don't know if that would help, but it would certainly be more helpful than just this one sect.
You know what's sad is that Urosocium says, I miss the days of the Spanish Inquisition, such love and tolerance. What's sad is that even in the case of some of the Inquisitions, like I know, for example, it was true with the Salem witch trials, that if you admitted to the crowd that if you confessed to being a witch, they might legitimately spare you. Whereas in the case of now with the woke crowds, you know for a fact they're not going to spare you, even if you confess. So the fact that these guys managed to make the fucking Inquisitions and witch trials look good by comparison is quite the statement.
And it all just leads back to the twitlonger, which we read at the beginning. Oh, throughout the beginning. Yeah, and honestly, there's nothing here to apologize for. In all the stuff, all the Discord stuff is years old, and almost every quote-unquote offender clearly was removed. Their names are all white. Some were just straight-up deleted user. So that means that it was already taken care of. I'm at a loss. I'm at a complete loss at why this twitlonger was justified. Silver says, Ezagon, well, that would be lovely, but knowing the entire conversation would probably defeat the wokists even more. They just pulled that from their asses out of the blue. Ain't true.
I will say that I think this shows a lot more about Valrak than does about the morons who screen capped all this shit.
I would say, this is gonna... okay, I'm gonna just say it. I think this is cowardly.
Absolutely.
Like, this is nothing, and they're coming at him with this. There's nothing to apologize for. Nothing. This is cowardly.
I think
this was also enough to get him to delete the Underhive Discord as well.
It was still there earlier, wasn't it?
He said he provided an update saying that he was going to take it down.
The whole server, or just certain chats?
He says, let me get you the link.
Okay.
So I can read it to you as well. Here we go. It says, to everyone, after some recent thoughts, I've decided to delete the Underhive server. I've made some fantastic friends through the server, but it just becomes too big for me to handle. For those of you who know me, my content creation is not a job. I do this as a hobby. I love talking Warhammer and meeting new people who share the same love for it as me. The server size has become too much for me to handle. I will be closing it down on June 11th, so it'll still be a little over a week from now.
Okay, I thought I saw it still up because someone sent me a screenshot. Okay.
So, but yes, he is shutting down the Underhive server because of this. He just hasn't quite done it yet.
And he provided a link to the Warhammer 40k server, which I believe is GW run.
Oh, this is going to be hilarious imagine if some of those people that got blocked end up joining on that, and now the woke crowd tries to get the 40k server canceled.
Yeah.
Yep,
Warhammer 40k.
I could see it.
That's very funny, actually.
Murderous Kitten says, you don't apologize, you do not acknowledge their existence, you don't entertain the BS blocking. Actually, there is a good way to handle this, I would say. The devs behind This Land Is My Land basically just told the people that tried to cancel them to fuck off.
Yeah.
And that instantly just destroyed the argument against trying to get the game canceled, and got it some support, I should say. Yeah, so there is actually... You can go ahead and just tell them to fuck off. And call them out on their bullshit and whatnot, and just do that, and yeah, it fixes the problem right then and there.
And yeah, I don't understand why anything he did was worthy of apology. He didn't... The thing is, the worst he did is he got rickrolled. Yeah, verbally rickrolled. And from there, people tried to add any semblance of validity to the bullshit by screenshotting shit from a year ago. A year and a half ago, almost. where almost, and in the screenshots, most of the fucking offenders were removed anyway, if you can even call them that.
I know.
So
That's the punchline.
So
These are
here's where
fucking idiots. I swear.
Here's where I stand on this. I'm gonna take a semi-hard stance, bump-tish, on this. You know how we talk about like bringing like other content creators, like potentially Valrak, Luton, like other Warhammer 40k YouTubers, and if we get brave enough to invite them like onto the podcast.
Oh no, I think we burnt that bridge a long time ago.
That's true too. He is one I would never want to be on a podcast with, because if anything were to go wrong or anything would be said.
All right, Greg, you're back.
Hello, can you hear me?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right,
But
go ahead.
he just seems like the kind of person that he would immediately throw us under the bus.
Oh no, no doubt, no doubt.
So
He threw Arch under the bus because Arch actually
Yeah.
interviewed him at one point, and
Who?
Valrak.
Oh, Valrak.
Yeah, we just went
yeah, the
through
guy we're talking about.
we just went through
Nah,
the
I'm
Discord
just-
bullshit.
yeah,
But, like,
we just went through all of it.
He had nothing to apologize for. Still apologize. I'm sorry if I hurt or offended anyone. Like bullshit. So now I can say with almost assurance that he might be the kind of guy that be kind of like off to the side, talk about like 40k, like hey, what do you like about 40k, stuff like that. But I would never want to collaborate with him, even if it were in the reverse situation where like I had a channel the size of like yours, Arch's, whatever. If I had a channel bigger than his, I would never want to collab with him with that kind of attitude.
The thing is, I don't care about channel size. I collab with people I like or I get along with. I don't give a shit if you're twice my size, half my size. I don't give a shit. If I don't like you, I'm not collabing with you.
I feel the same way, except like I feel like if I were to have a channel of a smaller size or of a larger size, I would want to collab with smaller channels just to kind of help them out. But again, only if I like them. And like shit like that. No. I'm good. I don't want to be.
This is the thing. Is I already was kind of ambivalent about, and I kind of liked Valrak, but after this is just so cowardly. There's nothing against him. There's really nothing against him that has any kind of weight, and he bowed down anyway. And if you get Ace Ludus, do you mind if since Greg had to leave for pretty much the entirety of the time we were going through the screenshots, mind if I just go real quick through them for him and see if
Go ahead. Sure.
Okay. So
go through the big bag of nothing.
yeah, so first one.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
All right. So fuck the tyranny transfer. Okay, so you were there for that. What was your thoughts on it?
That's not tyranny. It's or did you?
We know what it
intentionally say
means.
tyranny?
We know what it means.
Oh, my apologies.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I mean, if any of you play World of Warships, this is beginner level shit. What we see here.
Fuck that. Did you play Modern Warfare 2 back in the Xbox Live days?
Nah.
You know how many times I was called the N-word with a hard ER? I'm white as snow. I was called the N-word with hard ER several times. Yeah, so
well, we have the same word as a minted candy brand here.
with a hard ER?
Well, since it's your channel, I'm not gonna say it, but it starts with the N and ends with the RO. So yeah, we have.
Oh,
that.
okay,
So,
RO. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, and it's like it's funny because I always think about it. It's like when I ever have some foreign overseas people here, I always buy a bag of this candy, and I was like, "Hey, dude, you wanna grow?" And it's like, what? But anyway, I mean, this doesn't even make me flinch so far.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was
seen
the
worse.
first three are pretty much all vanilla. And
Yeah,
the
this
people,
is
the thing is, you should have seen the tweet that posted them. Like, they acted so like, oh my god, we got him. Like, what? All three of
there's
these
just,
are
like-
nothing.
like straws of like literally straws they're trying to hang on to.
And there is one silver lining with all these weak ass people who found these screenshots and are complaining about them and all this other shit. There is one good thing to pull from all of this. These people are living such amazing, wonderful, soft, and gentle lives. They're living such good lives that they have to work this hard to find anything bad.
Yeah.
I think that's
it's
beautiful.
like, I envy them.
I envy that. I do envy that. I envy that a lot, that they live such amazing, perfect lives, that this actually is a negative in their day.
Oh, I have like 2.5 hours of free time. Let's dig up shit. And I was like, good for you.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous that you can live life, actually live life, and think that this is anything worth bitching about.
And I also and I'm also like I get the kind of a mindset. I hype myself into the same kind of feeling like, oh, now I finally found some shit on someone I hate, and then my super ego kicks in. I was like, dude, stop. Because sometimes I'm acting like a man-child, and then I remind myself that I'm kind of an adult. So
I'm kind of an adult.
Because I'm not like these scum.
And I could say this: yeah. I've never been that mad. Like I've been so angry at somebody, I definitely wanted them to knock them down a peg, but to the point where I'd be like, oh, I actually looked into their stuff and found something bad about them and wanted to share it around.
I got kicked out of Warhammer groups because of this. Because there was like this young American lady in the Warhammer 40,000, the big one, which has about 40-something thousand groups on Facebook. He was bringing in she was bringing in this topic about female space marines and whatnot, and the classic unpopular topic shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I addressed that, and it's like, in what in the 40K universe, in the scientific manner, and how would you justify that? And then, the usual blah, 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 because it's the way, but come on, you're bigoted and such and such and so, blah, blah, blah. And it's not politics, it's a genuine question. I went to her profile, I screenshotted her talking about all sorts of LGBTQ stuff as an activist, and how she applauded that some US zoo gave a fake egg to 2 gay vultures, and how good is that? And I said, so you're not an activist, and I posted this, and 5 minutes later I was kicked out of the group.
Hold on a minute. I'm more focused on there's a zoo in my country that gave a fake egg to 2 gay vultures.
How do they know
I'm not making this shit up, dude. I am not, and I posted this.
I don't want to go on the tangent about it, but I have so many fucking questions in that scenario.
I do too.
And I said that, okay, Missy, listen up. So you say you're not a political activist, then what is this shit? And 5 minutes later, I was kicked out.
Guys, I just found out something. Guys.
What?
Oh, no.
Apparently, they just released the news for the new DLC for Total Warhammer 2.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Sorry, it's just, we're kind of... We're really dissociated from that right now.
we're more focused on gay vultures.
I do gotta say that was pretty funny though. We're talking about gay vultures over here, and Ace is like, "Hey guys, big news!
Warhammer related. No, Warhammer. Even better. Warhammer related. Okay.
Fuck that shit.
Okay, that was good.
No, anyway.
But yeah,
it was good.
Okay, so this is the third screenshot.
No, that's the second one.
Oh, this is the second one?
This is the second one. Because it's the ma'am one.
Oh, yeah. Did you read the second one? Or...
I did so. Well, it's your generic run of the mill.
This is a vapid nothing.
Said it's ma'am.
And yeah, the third...
That's actually funny.
Yeah, they were just memeing, and somehow the person who took these screenshots thought it was a gotcha, but okay. This is the third screenshot, CGI and shit. I still don't even know.
This one has actually nothing.
Seriously, like the worst thing is Remove Kebab, and I thought that was the elephant trunk, but apparently, according to Ace, Ludus, and everybody else, it's something to do with what was it?
Serbia.
Serbia. I was about to say Siberia.
Oh, it's I know what this is. There was the countries of the world according to Count Dankula, and this Remove the Kebab is a reference to the Serbians who basically committed the genocide of the Islamic people there. So that is kind of a reference to the Serbian genocide of the Serbian Muslims, basically. So that is taken directly from that video.
Oh.
Because Dankula is just the Warner Bros. the Animaniacs where I think
and for Serbia he said the ones that removed the kebabs or something like that.
Yes. So that is that reference right there.
Yeah, my knowledge of history, of that particular history, is so bad there. I thought it was just another thing about trans people.
No, I'm just my brain is very good at remembering practically useless trivial shit all the time. and immediately as I read this line, it's like, whoops, that's the Count Dankula song.
Well, the thing is, I'm not even sure. Given the fact that the other two screenshots posted by this person were both trans related, I'm kind of thinking that they made the same mistake I made. I don't think they don't think they know the historical context. They might. They might. That might
not.
But I'd say just based on the trend with all three of these, I think they also misinterpreted that as something to do with trans folks. That's just based on the fact that the first two, that's all they were about.
Stop calling yourself dumb by association.
And I kind of am.
Yeah, you kind of are.
Right,
so stop that.
Now let's bring up the only one that really has any kind of meatiness to the badness to it. So we're not saying that word, but my friend and I
remember that word. Yeah, we have the same brand of candy.
Yeah,
and it's in fact black.
Well, that explains probably why it's called that.
I'm going to say this. I don't imagine in any case where a black mint would seem appetizing to me.
It's kind of licorice or something, but...
Then I'll eat the hell out of it. I love licorice.
You guys like licorice? Ew.
I love licorice.
I've never been a fan of licorice.
Yeah, it has a chimney sweep logo. I'll actually look it up and post it in the Discord so you guys can have a look at it. It's a brand, so it's not offensive.
And the only other... I still won't share it on screen. This YouTube is...
Don't share this. This will get you banned for life, man.
YouTube is bullshit.
It'll get you banned for
the only
life,
other thing that was on here that was spicy was the very common and regularly used troll to especially piss off the SJW types, but just to troll anybody. People have used this on me, okay? But toothbrush stash did nothing wrong. That's used every fucking where. That's used every fucking where. Like, it's used on... every single SJW post on Twitter, there's at least one troll account that posts that, just to piss people off. It's not... as I said earlier, 99% of the people who post or say that comment are just trolls, just trying to piss people off. 1% might actually mean it.
It's the same as the religion of peace is right about women.
So, before we get into that one, Conan Lucas, it's not so much a controversy, it's that Valrak was tricked by a comment on stream to say something he shouldn't have.
During Pride Month?
Yeah, and then Nutjobs on Twitter ran with it.
And then immediately tucked his balls and apologized for it. And they brought up shit from apparently years ago on his Discord saying like...
A year and a half ago.
Look how bad this shit is on his Discord. So, it's essentially that we're saying that there really is no controversy. There's a whole lot of nothing here. And also the fact that he apologized. And also in the way he apologized, he's kind of a coward.
Yeah. And literally he did nothing wrong. And
he did nothing wrong.
There's nothing here. They're hitting him with blanks. Because the screenshots alone, if you look at them past surface level, have nothing spicy in them, except for that fourth one. And
he's
even then,
actually
that's like
those
standard
black
troll
dots are not bad.
spice. It's standard troll spice. It's like nothing. And the screenshots also reveal, if you just know anything about Discord, that most of the quote-unquote offenders were removed because their names are white, which means they have no role. And I was on both of his servers at one time, Upper Hive and Under Hive. No one there has white names, as I recall. Everyone was given an automated role by the Me6 bot. So the only way you can have a white name is if you were kicked.
And he's nuking one of his.
Yeah, apparently, as a screenshot, as Ace shared, what was it, June 13th? 11th? What was it? 11th. June 11th, he's nuking the Underhive, which is the public Discord. His Upper Hive is just his not patrons, but his YouTube members and like people who directly donate to him.
Patrons.
Yeah, basically the YouTube equivalent of patrons. And what I found funniest about his post is that he links what I believe the Warhammer 40k Discord that he linked is the GW made and controlled one.
Oh my god! This man is the Games Workshop unconscious manifested.
Literally, like even in his most dire quote unquote dire controversy, where he's getting in deep shit with people, the SJW nutjobs on Twitter, he still is somehow finding a way to simp. That impresses me.
I mean, Richard wanted to be recorded. Richard Boylan wanted to be recruited, but he did Hell's Reach for that. This dude.
I mean, yeah, like he does more damage control than they ever do. And the worst part is I'm supposed to be the devil's advocate here for him amongst this group of people, but even I got nothing. Like,
bet you're sweating bullets.
What? Oh yeah, totally. I got nothing to to me, the apology itself is cowardly because I would, first of all, just by apologizing, you admit you did wrong. He didn't. You got verbally rickrolled on stream, which is normal. It happens. We as content creators trust YouTube to have its automated censor bot on the chat. So when people super chat us at something or they just comment something, it's supposed to block people from saying certain words, which includes slurs. And that includes the bundle of sticks word, as I've seen, because people have tried to type that in before and couldn't. So it's not uncommon to see that. But we trust YouTube to remove those words, so we subconsciously feel safe reading people's super chats without that concern, without getting in trouble for it, because we trust that the YouTube bot gets rid of the bad words, so when we can just safely read it off as we're actually reading it, so we don't pre-read it before we say it, and we could do that without risk. And that backfired for Valrak. But the thing is, he shouldn't at all apologize for this. There's nothing here. It's the Discord screenshots, nothing. Nothing but, at worst, people, some troll saying Toothbrush Stash did nothing wrong, and some guy saying my friend. Which, again, I don't know the person's background to know, or the context that led to that statement. But let's just say this is a horrible racist on his Discord server. He didn't even use the hard ER. So, yeah, like nothing here really is all that spicy. It's nothing. It's a nothing burger. It's an empty, vapid nothingness. And I think Valrak honestly made a cowardly move. He bent the knee when he had every ground to tell these people to go fuck themselves and say, hey, I did nothing wrong.
It's a knee-jerk reaction, I think.
Yeah.
And him, me missing a good 20-25 minutes of the conversation, I just learned that he nuked his Underhive, is him signaling that he is making sure that the scum is not going to fester his Discord anymore, and he's a good boy.
Yeah. And I still, despite all this crap, I still like Valrak for certain things. Like, we definitely need a positive voice in the community to look at the latest news from GW and not immediately shit on it, and try and look at it from the lighter side of things. We need that balanced perspective. The problem is he's gone
Overboard.
He's gone overboard. He's gone way overboard.
He does not need to bend over and take it while raising the white flag.
Hey, he would need to stand up for himself. That's all.
Yeah.
Saying that, no, fuck you. This wasn't me. I got trolled. Get over it. Whatever.
I mean, at most, like, here's the furthest I would go. I'm sorry I said it. I was trolled. It was an accident, and be done with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's about the most I would go.
And it definitely isn't worthy of a twitlonger.
No. It would really be one of those things where I legit say, I'm sorry that word came out my mouth. I was trolled reading off the comments. That's what happened. We're done.
Yeah. I think everybody's got a... At the end of the day, Valrak bent the knee. He bent it hard, and even though he had no, in my opinion, they had nothing on him, he gave in. Like, this is a cowardly move at the end of the day. And it was also the fair thing to remind that he also lives in the UK, where they spend hundreds of thousands of pounds protecting 2 child murderers, and one of which is now a grown pedophile. And on top of that, they also prosecute people for offensive language, like jail time prosecute. So to be fair, that's what he's also got risking this. So that would justify it to a longer more than any of the backlash he's getting on Twitter, though. This is all just a joke.
Mm-hmm.
What's the chat think? He likes to be a good boy even when there's nothing he did wrong. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Valrak has to bend the knee. UK law, citation needed, enforces it. Yeah, that's to the law, though, not a twitlonger.
What's a twitlonger, anyway?
It's a service that some guy made where... I find it hilarious Twitter didn't make this, but someone realized, hey, you know how Twitter is terrible for having conversations and, actually writing out your thoughts properly because it limits you to, 250 characters, 500 characters? Some bullshit like that?
Yeah.
So someone made twitlonger, which is a way to write out your full thought and get past that limited character amount. It's bullshit that you have to use a whole nother service to do that, but that's Twitter for you. Twitter as a whole is a cesspool of bullshit.
Yeah, I just post my video updates on it.
I deleted my Twitter.
Reasons.
I deleted my Twitter anyway. Fuck 'em.
Thank God nobody goes after me.
I deleted it. I'm fucking done with that platform. I hate Twitter. It's just a cesspool. Anyone's over there who isn't a total nutcase, I'd recommend to leave now before someone comes after you for, I don't know, some stupid as shit statement that is innocuous as fuck. True, I should not. Okay, that's Corn. A voice that is too positive is as bad as a voice that is just as negative. I would say, yeah, and when you're nothing but negative, you're not really... It just leads to the question of why you even in the hobby. But if you're nothing but positive as well, it's the other extreme. It's that same old argument of, extremes are a bad thing no matter what you're in. You should never be an extreme in most categories. You should have, a rational middle ground. You should be positive about the things that definitely are worthy of it, but also be, critical and negative of the things that earn that negative response. And yes, sometimes there's more stuff to react to negatively especially when it comes to Warhammer. But yeah, you need to have that balanced perspectives. And yeah, it's unfortunate that we have more negative news than ever nowadays, and just to talk about things positively, Valrak has to twist shit. But at the same time, I get it. I get that, when you have a hobby, you don't want to talk shit about it. you want to be positive about it. And I love Warhammer. I love 40K. I love this hobby. I hate the company that produces it half the time. Because they make some horrible decisions. Horrible decisions. Did I disconnect?
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. I was like, the peanut gallery is gone. This is not good.
For me, it's like I said, it's more of I look at it in a practicality way. I mean, I get we need positive 40K YouTubers, but realistically, you know, I don't stay up with JW or the minis, but I do straight lore. I did the Legions. I'm in the middle of, and will hopefully finish at some point in time, the Primarch series. But at the same time, I'm also doing an alternate Heresy series. So mine focuses more on the lore. So it's not really, there's nothing for me to be positive or negative about. It's just me retelling the story for the upteenth time. And, you know, it's something that, like I said, yeah, it'd be cool to talk to him like, hey, you know, what's your favorite part of Warhammer? Shit like that. That'd be like a really cool conversation to have. I like having that conversation with other people. But I would never want to collab with him officially.
Yeah, same. And the thing is, we already know he's willing to toss people under the bus.
Yeah, like honestly, there's only two 40K YouTubers. No, sorry, 3 40K YouTubers I would never, ever want to do a collaboration with.
I know who you're talking about. Don't mention their names. I don't even want to give them that much exposure. Don't.
Because I know you know of one. I don't know whether you know the third one or not.
Because we almost talked about them once before, and I don't even want to bother with them. So don't even mention them.
I see.
Well, no, the last one is really petty. I'll even admit that. Oh no, actually, he's a 40K YouTuber.
He counts, yes.
Oh,
I don't even know this guy.
I didn't even know he was a 40K YouTuber.
He's the scum of the earth. I'll leave it at that. He's the scum of the fucking earth.
He wasn't even on my list, but yeah, he's one I wouldn't work with either.
He's the same kind of psychopaths. He's the same kind of psychopath on Twitter who just spends all day looking for people who don't like him, and then tries to find anything. Or I'm pretty sure he'll go as far as to Photoshop shit. To make up lies about people. And during the Arch controversy, he straight up lied and was full of shit. So I hate his guts. He is one of the few people I would genuinely describe as I hate. He has nothing, his content is lazy. His personality is absolute shit and a cesspool of crap. And he's subhuman trash sometimes with how he talks to people.
Who are we talking about?
I'm not saying his name. I'm not.
Right.
No.
Look at the group chat.
I am not saying his fucking name. I hate his guts. I will never give him that much exposure. Fuck him.
Oh.
That wasn't even who I was going to talk about, which is the funny part.
Are we talking about the dude that decided to try to claim my video as well as Arch's video?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I hate his fucking guts.
Me too. And the thing is, ironically, using their own arguments, you could completely... Here's the thing. If they're trying to cancel people for stuff that their fans say, do you want to know what some of the shit that his fans have said to me?
Yeah, we're not going down it. I know what his fans have said.
I got pics
No.
of it.
Ooh. I don't even want to talk about him or his trash community.
You know what? I'm gonna mention my third one just so I can bitch. But Jesus Christ, y'all two went on a completely different direction. So Greg, do you know who either of the bottom two are in the list that I put in there?
Of course.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's actually Asmogon brings up another point. Jesus. So there are 5 I wouldn't. So the third one in my list, Greg, is actually the YouTuber who branched me into Arch. I got started with him because he does a lot. He does a lot. I'm not even going to bullshit this. He does some really good lore videos, but he pisses me off as a person. He pisses me off as a person. I was in one of his live. Well, I was in one of his live streams with like 20 people in the live stream, and he was more focused on a soccer game than his chat.
Well, that sucks.
So, no. And this comes to...
Oh, no, the dinosaur tech priest. Oh.
No, that's not the dinosaur tech priest. That's not the dinosaur tech priest.
Yeah, so...
I would like working with him. He actually seems like a cool dude.
No, wait a minute. You said you're
like
the
I
last
said,
2 names.
Huh? Yeah.
The last 2 names you mentioned.
He has a podcast with the dinosaur tech priest. He is not the dinosaur tech priest.
Ah, okay.
Hey, what's up, man? I don't know either. What?
What's the Valrak controversy? He said something stupid by accident from the chat.
We spent the whole stream talking about it. But one last recap for everybody. Valrak got verbally rickrolled, I'm assuming via super chat, where someone spelled out phonetically the bundle of sticks word. He said it out loud, got in trouble, even though it was clearly an accident and nothing worthy of even apology, in my opinion, because he, again, didn't do anything wrong. He was tricked into saying something, and that should have been the end of it, is just, oh, sorry about that, and moved on. That should have been the extent of what he had to do, is just like, oh, whoops, my bad, move on. No, instead he made a twitlonger, straight up apologizing in triplicate, which is a PR move and very cowardly, if I'm being honest. Fairly cowardly. He apologized, bent the knee faster than Scooby-Doo and Shaggy run away from a ghost. And yeah. And then people came at him with his Discord community also being full of shit. Because they took screenshots from a year ago where almost everybody in the screenshots have white names, which means that they were all already banned or removed from the Discord. So, yeah. So, literally, they had nothing on him, but we're trying to come at Valrak and say he was fostering a transphobic, racist, sexist, all the istanisms community. And again, he bent the knee faster than Shaggy and Scooby run from a ghost. Just immediately bent the knee. And made this PR apology, which was fairly...
Which basically reads like the Warhammer is for everyone.
Yeah, it's a PR apology move. And to be fair, on one side of things, he does live in the UK, where they spend hundreds of thousands of pounds protecting 2 child murderers, one of which grew up to become a pedophile. Which you can't even share their names or any pictures of what they look like on risk of being sent to jail. In that same country, he's also at risk of being prosecuted and sent to jail for offending people. This is why I will never live in that country. I mean, Britain is shit. I'll be frank. I'm sorry to my Brit fans, but you guys live in a crappy country. A country that protects 2 individual child murderers and spends a lot more time prosecuting those who share information about them. And then spends the other half of its time sending people to jail for spicy jokes on the internet. It's fucking bullshit.
Not to mention the grooming gangs.
Yeah, yeah, I would never want to live there. Sorry, to the UK fans, I'm sure the other aspects of the country are amazing, but just having those set the tone, yeah, I'd never want to live there. Hard pass. I'd never live there. Not in a million years. But yeah, Valrak, cancel culture is coming for Valrak, and he already bent the knee. Let's see if it actually works out for him, unlike it doesn't work out for anybody else.
But now, also, don't get us wrong. We do want to say that we don't support the cancel group coming for him. We think they're completely insane and in the
Oh
fucking
yeah,
wrong.
they're fucking
for it.
nuts. They're
I absolutely agree.
But I will say the fact that he bent the knee and bent the fuck over that quickly, that leads me to, and this is not me saying he would, but this is me saying that leads me to believe that he would absolutely throw anyone under the bus. In fact, I believe, like Esmond said, yeah, because he did to Arch, yeah. So it's one of those things where it just makes me not want to interact with the dude, honestly.
Okay, is the stream blinking for anybody else?
Not for me.
Okay, I just tried to load up the
No?
page and the video viewer is blinking. I was like, oh, weird.
No, it's fine on my end.
Okay, guess it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm streaming it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably because I'm streaming it. Yeah, whatever. as long as it's coming through smoothly for everybody else, it's fine. Let me catch up with everybody.
And a slight plug. Today is my 40K video day, and in about 20 minutes I have the orcs from Total War Warhammer 2. I'm playing as Azog the Slaughterer.
Nice.
It is fun.
Alright, welcome Glad V, by the way. He's probably left already.
The orcs are very special in Total War Warhammer.
The orcs are special in general. Everyone loves our we love our orky boys. Or associate customers? Don't you mean ammo? Just trying to catch up. Hey, very concerned Quispy, how you doing? Asmo and gang don't want to give them the exposure of naming them. Nope, I don't. I will not name them on stream. I hate them that much. I don't want to give them even the slightest bit of advertisement. I don't care how little it is.
Which is hilarious, because we were talking about two different people.
And yeah, the people you listed, I would say depending... One of them I just don't want to get involved with.
The middle one?
Yeah, so... I'd say the other two I don't particularly care.
Like I said, the bottom one for me is just because, like I said, that doing that in a fucking live stream when you only have 20 people and you're more focused on a soccer game than your live stream.
That's just bullshit.
That's shitty to do. You don't
watch the game or do the live stream.
I'll say at that point, if you have a stream of 20 people and you're more focused on a soccer game than your fucking chat with 20 people in it, you don't deserve your fucking channel.
No. Forlorn Lancer.
God, I would left 20 people on my streams.
Okay, so this is from very concerned Crispy. Wow, fuck the UK. Okay, I'm not gonna go that far and say fuck the UK. I just fuck living there. I'm sure again the UK is a beautiful place to live. It's got good people for the most part. It's just a parliament that has some fucked up policies and fucked up decision making, and their laws are fucked up. But
remember that
part of the United States.
The country itself is probably a good place, I would say. But from what but when you decide, like, on the visit there, I'd visit there. I'd visit my brother-in-law and his family for sure. But go there and live there and become a citizen and have to live under their shitty laws? Fuck no. No, I'll stick right here. I like my freedom of speech.
Remember that Polish dude who was trying to fend off that guy who was stabbing people with the knife of peace on that bridge with a narwhal's tusk?
I remember that story.
I think he got jailed just for that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I think he got jailed because he was attacking that person of a particular religion who was stabbing people on the bridge because he was stabbing him with a narwhal's tusk.
If that's the bullshit that is going on over in the UK, if they are arresting
if that's
people...
false, just correct me. The Warsmith said it's false. I don't know if he's referring for that. But if I heard... Not true
I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, look it up, because I don't know anything about this situation.
I heard it, but that would be the most twisted ass shit ever.
I have
Because
not heard of that
dude deserves to be
situation
a national
at
hero.
all. I've not heard of that situation at all.
I heard it, not sure if it's true, but as Warsmith says, it's not true. I hope it's not true because that dude is a hero.
Yes, he is.
Come on, a narwhal's tusk. The fuck?
I have so many
That
questions about
dude-
that scenario.
That dude has like a nutsack made of steel.
Well, anywho.
The closest thing I can see is. Wait. Prisoner reveals role in a tackling London Bridge attacker with narwhal tusk. What? So apparently. Okay, so I see he was apparently a prisoner at some point that was out.
He was on parole?
Don't. Out on license, it says.
Warsmith says one of the people was a woman killer, though. I don't
Yes,
know. I don't know
it
this
says
situation
okay.
at fucking all.
It says he's serving a life sentence for murder, so that's probably true. What the hell is a murderer doing out on license?
It can't possibly be. How long ago was this?
This article was from. Here's the article. It's from The Guardian. It's from January 6, 2020. And the attack happened in 2019.
I mean, I don't want to go down this tangent too far.
Let's not do that one on stream.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's that one's.
That was just flashed into my brain. I was like,
Yeah, I know nothing about that.
Okay, so this
situation.
is a little. I still have to wonder why the hell did a murderer get out on license, quote unquote. What the hell that even means. But
with a narwhal tusk.
Freeman Reigns, welcome. A museum, I suppose. Getting the narwhal tusk. Like,
I think
don't
the story I
fucking
heard
know.
was it was from a pub or something like that. It was hanging on a pub wall.
and they're sure it wasn't like a replica or like a fake.
No, it was a genuine thing.
It was genuine from what I saw.
I feel like I'm getting mind fucked right now. This whole situation sounds kind of crazy.
Well, yeah, it became a meme that the dude stabbed the terrorist with a narwhal tusk.
what?
Yeah, that is true. That is in fact true. I
Okay.
saw it on video.
Epic moment. Okay, but I don't know. I can't speak with any confidence on that situation. I can only speak to the reasons why I would never want to live in the UK. We'll leave it. I'll leave it at that because I'm totally lost. Whatever the fuck what happened there. Worsman says I do policing to my degree. He served his minimum
sentence.
minimum's term, I believe. So he was eligible for parole. Okay. The narwhal disappointment. Okay, we're gonna move on because I'll look into it on my own time because I'm curious, but at the same time, it's like what? Okay. I don't even know what I want to move on to. That's how much that I'm now so confused. Oh yeah, I was reading the chat. Alright, chat, other than that.
And also, Silver was asking for lore channels similar to Arches, but not Arch, and Myrain recommended me.
Well, I can recommend myself and Ludus,
Well, so again, right now my current two series is.
but that might be a little egotistical, so...
Well, right now my two
Recommend me.
series is I'm
Alright, do you do
working on-
lore, KTH?
I do.
You do
Oh.
lore, okay. Yeah, so you have Kill Team Hungry, he does lore.
I mean,
Here, hold
it's
on.
not
one
much, but it's
second.
honest work.
I will.
I didn't know you did lore. I know you talked about Kill Team, I know you did the streams where you painted your minis, and I know you talked a lot about the Astartes animation, and I also know that you
Yeah.
worked on a fan production for a Custodes audio drama, or is that what it's referred to as, an audio drama?
Oh yeah,
That was entertaining.
I wrote that story, and Vox in the Void dramatized it. Is that the right word?
Dramatized.
voiced
I would
it.
say.
Yeah, voiced it, and it blew the fuck up, and I'm very happy about it.
Okay.
So
What
that
more? I need more. Oh, okay.
the first link I put in there was for
So other
Team
than
Hungary.
our group, there's Arch,
Thank you, Arch.
obviously. Voldemort. Voldemort is he doesn't give straight lore just like analytically. He dramatizes it. Most of his lore videos are more about getting the essentials, but also about almost a storytelling aspect of portraying the lore. And plus, his voice is sensual. A Border Prince is another good one. A Border Prince is probably.
I love these people.
I love A Border Prince is probably. I don't know if I go to him more than Voldemort. I'd say I go to Voldemort a little bit more. So they're kind of tied. They both have really great voices, buttery smooth. I'd recommend both for sure. Voldemort for the more theatrical delivery and the more passionate delivery. A Border Prince for the more still voice acted, still genuinely well, but it's less theatrical. It's still, still to a degree theatrical, but less so. So if you're looking for more of the storytelling vibe of it, definitely go for Voldemort. If you're going more for the information and less about like it all being portrayed through like a theatrical story being played out, then go to A Border Prince, Arch, Delot. Those sources.
Oculus Imperia? Or is he someone who we do not mention here?
I don't watch his stuff, so I can't recommend.
Oh, okay.
I don't either.
So, I don't know. Would you recommend him?
He had some interesting stuff. So if I were you, I would give it a shot.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first. KTH recommends Oculus Imperial. What was it again?
I think it's Oculus Imperia.
Imperia.
Let's check.
Okay, Oculus Imperia is also... Oh, damn. Yeah, I don't know anything about Oculus Imperia, so I can't confirm or deny what Nameless Scholar just said, but I don't know. But yeah, A Border Prince for sure, and Voldemort as well. Thank you very much for the recommendations. I have some free time nowadays, so I'm checking all the recommendations. Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to make...
So, anything else you guys feel like covering?
Yeah, because that literally took up all of our time and a half.
Yeah, I know. I'm just taking essentially Q&A questions from the chat.
Ah.
Out on license means he served half of his sentence good behavior and deemed no further threat. They are fitted with a GPS tracking anklet. Okay. What are the stats on the narwhal tusk? Oh my god.
Still, wait, it says... I thought it said life in prison.
Did he serve 50 years?
It says serving a life sentence for murder.
So
that adds to my confusion.
So he murdered someone after he stabbed the terrorist with a narwhal tusk.
No, before. He murdered someone way back in 2005. He was not eligible for parole until 2022.
What got him back in jail?
What got him out of jail?
What got him? Okay. Fair question. Yes.
I mean, kudos to him for helping take down the terrorist. And you know what? Screw it. I'll say it. Go ahead and reduce his sentence for taking out a terrorist like that. But still.
Horace says, what is the name of the private chamber servants of the Queen? Is that for Warglaive? If that's Warglaive, those are the Grimguard, and they are the surviving members of the first generation of Helsings that were very first produced by the Sovereignty. Most of them ended up being put in the Grimguard. They're typically referred to by Helsings and Jekylls and Hydes as just the Grim. And that's typically because most of them have taken a vow of silence. there's also a theory that the Empress invaded their minds and removed their ability to speak. But that's theorized. There is 2 members of the Grimguard that speak. One of them is called the Voice of the Empress, and the other is the Wrath of the Empress. That's essentially their quote-unquote names. They don't have actual ones. So their title is both their title and their name. They're both allowed to speak because they're agents that are sent out to achieve specific must-not-fail tasks for her. I will say this, not all of the first generation of Helsings made it into the Grimguard. Some are still, supposedly, amongst the regular ranks of Helsings. Not all of them accepted the honor. As gone, I'm gonna head out. I'm a little on edge. Have a great stream. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're on edge. Yeah, I hope you relax, and I hope you have a great afternoon. Question 2, what weapon would you use to fight? Like me, generally? And
In what time period?
Oh, okay, well, assuming me, personally, and nowadays, I got my trusty AR-15. I do really like my Bowie knife. I have a machete. I also have a katana. Several broadswords, but they're mostly decorative, but they are metal, so they could do at least some damage. I have a laundry list of knives. I guess I have a list. 12 gauge is always good as well.
Oh, I love that.
Well, if you wanted to, okay, so here's my question: do we know we're getting into a fight, or is this just?
I just taken it as it's asked. It was like, just getting into a fight. What weapon would you choose if you could choose?
Well, in my case, I just use an aircraft and just fight them from the air.
Okay, well, that's cheating.
No, it's not.
It's like a couple muggers are along the street, and you're up above in a World War II bomber, just.
Remote detonation of a thermonuclear bomb.
Oh, that's great.
It's not cheating. We can use whatever we want.
I guess it's a very broad question. We need more axe levers here, and I love axes.
Oh wait, it's
I
no
only have a hatchet.
restrictions.
Oh, I don't know. I was just trying to be a smart ass.
I can get really creative with this.
Oh no, I don't know that for sure. I was trying to be a smart ass after you said aircraft.
Goddamn, no restrictions.
What? I know how to fly a plane, so.
I don't, but I do know how to drive.
I believe the acronym ICBM holds a lot of meaning for how far that aircraft can go. Methinks not that fast.
I think I'd channel my inner meth tank driver and just pick up a tank and just bulldoze shit.
I'm just sitting here with my longsword.
That's right. Does your country have any like gun laws?
One thing I will admit that I would like to own just for the heck of it. There's actually okay, so one thing I would like to own if I could find one in the first place. It's actually a thing that was tested in World War I, but it's a weapon, but it's not. It's actually an attachment to a weapon. And I will show you exactly what this is. And it's also one of those things where I have to... No, it's even better.
I want to point something out.
Here's a pic of it for you.
Oh, damn.
Silver and Ben Grogan both point out that an ICBM cannot track a plane and hit it. I don't have to hit it with the fucking ICBM. I have to hit near it. And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have issue with that.
Okay, so I got the pic here for you so you can have a look at it. What this is, it was a thing the U.S. tested out during World War I. It's called the Flaming Bayonet. It is a miniaturized flamethrower attached to the bayonet, attached to the rifle.
Of course, it's the fucking U.S.
It is the most
pretty creative.
I'm sitting here wondering why the hell can this not be in Warhammer 40k at some point?
Only the United States military would be autistic enough to say, "What does our bayonet need? More flamethrowers."
Well, isn't it a combi bolter attachment? Basically, bolter, flamer, and then whatever the fuck you put on it.
I think it's the
It's
bolter and then whatever the fuck you want on it, be it a flamer or a melt-a-gun or anything like that. I think it's only
that's like, but you can like attach a combat knife to it at this point, and then boom, here you have it.
pretty much. You're not wrong.
Wow, that's cool.
KB bolter equals bolter plus additional weapon.
I mean, this is a comment. I have to say I have to see who said this. This will be fun. Ben Grogan said in World War II the German bombers had defensive Flammenwerfers for chasing planes. I'm just curious on how the fuck a plane chases another plane without crashing. Because when you're that high up in the atmosphere. And B, have to get close enough for a flamethrower to work. That seems mildly difficult.
Mildly. Only mildly.
And also, yeah, and Ben Grogan also points out, after all, canvas and wood planes, I'm pretty sure that's what Germans were flying too. So there's also the danger of setting yourself on fire.
Especially when you have a front-mounted flamethrower.
And of all ways to go, that can't be the worst way to go.
I can see it now. I can see it now, like in some sort of purgatory, where people are getting sorted as to where they're going to go. How did you die? Well, to tell you the truth, I was flying a plane and activated the front-mounted flamethrowers. Oh, you're one of the dumb ones then.
Silver says you need to take into consideration pilots needed to get close to have a good shot at the plane. It's true. Alfarius to Omega Boogaloo says, what stupid thing happened now? Oh, you're only just joining, my friend. Well, you have quite the hell of a stream to catch up on. Have fun.
Yep.
Because we're not going over it again.
What part of any setting do you think could be further explored or expanded? My pick, 40k Rogue Traders. This is by Jorge Grasa.
What part of any setting that could be more explored? So there's no limitation here, right? Like any.
So actually, I have a good 40k one.
Shoot.
I know why it's not, but expand more on the Primarchs individually while they're still on their planets. Like, while specifically a good example is while Horus is on Cathonia, and like Fulgrim is on what was that planet? But like
something Chem.
Yeah, it's Kim something. I can't remember. Chemos. And like,
yes, that is correct. Camels.
While they're all on their planets, expand on that a little bit. That would be cool, and it would also kind of humanize the Primarchs more. I think, anyway.
I kind of agree with that. I'd say that wouldn't be my pick though, because if we're going any universe, I'm definitely going outside 40k on this one.
See, I would, except what do you have left? You have Star Wars, which is already going down the shitter. You have Star Trek, which is also going down the shitter. So, really, what are the other What are the other good sci-fi choices?
All right, now this is assuming that it would not be like done by Hollywood. I mean, like by an actual writer properly. I would have to say
Starship.
No, believe it or not. I'd say I have one on my mind. Trying to remember the name properly. It's been forever since I've ever talked about it. Come on.
Finn Corn asked, isn't that what the new book series Primarchs is doing? I don't know. I'm still going through the Horus Heresy books. So it's one of those things for me where I just thought it'd be cool for them to expand. Actually, one that I really want to see them expand on is Angron on Nuceria, because I want them to make him a better Primarch desperately. Because his story is, I literally can't do shit. Why me? Why me? Get these fucking things out of my head. Why me? Why me?
I think I'll shelve that because I can't remember the name. It's just been so goddamn long. The second one to that though, and keep in mind I haven't read all the books. I'm not all completely caught up, but the Aragon series. I don't know if any of the books I haven't read so far because it's a story that's going forward. Like I don't know if there's any prequel books, but I would love if some of the events that happened pre the first book got expanded on a lot more. Like the universe of Aragon, I think would be cool to see that expanded upon and given more details. Again, I haven't read all the books though, so maybe everything that absolutely could or needs to be talked about in that universe has, but from what I've read, there's still plenty of questions and curiosities about its past and how certain things came to be that I'd say I want to know.
Carnith Corn just put something incorrect in the chat. Remember how Angron never beat a named character? All 7 of the captains before Karn were all named. I'm cannot be bothered to look it up, but at least specifically the first captain.
Maybe he meant names that were memorable.
And
or worthy of note.
And he did beat Rebute Gilliman to retreat. And
Plus, he killed Custodes as well, barehanded.
He's also he beat Rebute Gilliman to force Gilliman to retreat on what planet was it? Because it was them and the Word Bearers. I can't think of what fucking planet was it. He beat another Primarch to retreat, and then you're asking the people he beat, not killed.
He's specifying killed.
Only kills count. He killed the first captain of the Warhounds, who again I cannot be bothered to look up, but that was a named character. He damn near killed Karn, which no one can kill Karn. God damn it, now I've got to look this up because I know he has.
So, anything anyone would like to talk about in terms of the Valrak situation, or as the other half of it that we kind of touched on throughout the whole thing is the state of the internet culture as a whole and how it's degrading?
I don't really have anything more to add. Do you?
Pretty much. And the only thing I'd have to say is just a small spiel about where I'm concerned. Not really just internet culture, but culture as a whole is going, at least in the US and online.
I would say that things are starting to. I would say that I think we might actually be we might have actually passed something of a turning point on that regard. I do think that the woke crowd are starting to see some pushback.
Not much that I've seen.
Not much, but it's a start. And hopefully these sorts of, and hopefully the people and companies that do push back, if they see successes with this pushback, that hopefully should grow. I know for a fact
they're certainly coming for their own. That's for sure.
Yeah, they eat each other.
I know that the woke crowd are now trying to argue that they have lost the culture wars. That has been their big thing recently. In fact, you remember that book I was telling you about that I found out about recently regarding the whole Vietnam veterans thing?
Yeah.
The whole point of that book was about how the woke culture lost the culture war. That was the core premise of it. That was the core thought behind it before they went into all the crazy stuff in that.
And I would love to think that they have lost it, but they haven't stopped fighting it.
Oh, they're going to continue. Sure, this is going to be a slow grind. You're still going to have companies with pockets of woke crowd deliberately trying to sabotage their own projects and all that.
Speaking of, you guys hear how Cruella went down? Tanked at the box office.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I actually do want to see if I can find a way to watch it. I don't know if I'll have to yo-ho me hearty yo-ho. But I do want to watch it because I
still ask for your money back.
I want to watch it just because a friend of mine, his girlfriend, dragged him to go. And he texted me while watching the movie, and it's like his messages are like a side by side of how his mood just degraded. Because he sends me a message when the movie first starts. It was at 1 p.m. And he says, to quote, "This movie is gonna suck." 10 minutes later, "Can you please set your house on fire so I have an excuse to leave?" 20 minutes after that, dresses. What's with all the fucking dresses? Another 20 minutes. Okay, I don't get this. 20 minutes after that, I'm done. And then, I don't know how much longer after that, because the timestamp's weird. But I'm assuming after the movie finished up, he then sends me a video call, which I will not play, because I don't have his permission to have his voice played. But, let's see. I'm just trying to remember exactly what he says in the video call, in the voice line. I think he said something along the lines of, this movie tried to justify Cruella's hatred of dogs and Dalmatians because her mom was killed by Dalmatians in the movie.
Yes.
Really? Yeah, apparently they pushed her off a cliff intentionally. Yes. I'm like, what? Cruella de Vil, arguably the only purely, actually, truly evil. Well, no, there's a couple others you could.
So basically, it's a revenge story then.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. They tried to turn Cruella into, I guess.
So they're trying to say that Cruella did nothing wrong.
Yeah, they're trying
to Yeah, I think that tanked at the box office though, and they were trying, and I think a lot of people thought they were trying to do a female Joker with it. That same
maybe they
aspect.
were, but
they've apparently failed miserably because the box offices are terrible. And
did you hear about the film, by the way, when Joker came out, the film that the woke crowd were trying to push?
No.
Cuck.
There was a film literally called Cuck that they were trying to push. And it got, I kid you not, it got $0 at the box office.
That's impressive.
I'm not saying it made almost nothing. I'm saying it made literally $0 at the box office.
That's impressive. And yeah, but I do want to watch Cruella. I just really want to see how bad. If it's on the streaming service, I'd love to force my Discord community to watch it. It's like you would sit down and watch this.
Speaking of Discord communities, I do have an event coming up on Monday. If you are up for watching a movie, Osmegon, and it will be a good movie.
A good movie.
It'll be
is this the sarcasm good, or is this good?
This is good.
All right, what's the movie?
It's going to be a surprise because I don't want to spoil what exactly it is. Although the idea is it's going to be a sci-fi movie, a sci-fi action movie.
I'm gonna get stick bugged, aren't I?
It's going to be a good movie.
This is gonna be some kind of Turkish Star Wars equivalent,
no.
And I'm gonna die.
No, this is not going to be Turkish Star Wars. This is going to be actually good. I mean, you can actually go talk to viewers of mine that watched the last event, and that was actually another good movie. It was a war film, but it was a good war film.
Okay.
But this one's going to be an action film, but you're going to like it.
I might catch it. It'll depend on my streaming schedule that day.
Speaking of which, also, yeah. That reminds me. All right. So, anyways, let's get back to, I guess, the comments.
Yep. Sam Bob Tim. Oh God, that Valrak statement is so cringe. Like he needs to apologize for the actions of others or something. Yeah, I encourage you to rewatch the whole stream. We went at length about...
You beat that to death.
We beat it to death. We spoke at extreme length about, honestly, the cowardly nature of bending the knee for not having done anything wrong. And he got verbally rickrolled. And he apologized for that, on top of also apologizing for Discord statements that are a year old, that in this same... that aren't... the statements aren't even that bad. Like, I've seen way worse. But on top of not even really being that much of a gotcha, also in the screenshots, all of the people who are the quote-unquote offenders are already gone, because their names are white, which means they have no role, which means they either got kicked or were banned from the server. Because though I was only on his servers for a short amount of time, I believe he has the Me 6 bot, and everybody is given a base role with a color on it. So anybody whose name is in white is not on the server anymore. So the quote-unquote offenders aren't even there anymore. So yeah. But I encourage you to watch the whole stream. We all talked about this at length. We all gave our thoughts at length. And speaking of, any last closing thoughts about this, about the internet culture going fucking south? And going, hopefully there's the sun rising over the horizon soon. Kind of like that Helm's Deep moment.
Not really. I'm just waiting for it to fucking stop.
Ah, that'd be great if we could finally get over this garbage where we cancel everybody over every innocuous statement on the planet. And mistake. Like, that's the thing. We're not even allowed to make mistakes anymore. You're not even allowed... people don't even give you the leeway of being trolled anymore. Which is the biggest bullshit. But yeah.
Yeah, jokes used to be funny.
Used to be. Have you seen SJW, like, humor, like, their comedy, quote, specials, quote-unquote? So they're stand-up comedians who are, quote-unquote,
Sarah
woke humor.
Silverman and shit?
No. She's not... She's even better than them. Like, the... straight up, like, from their career, quote-unquote career start, these people are woke comedians, as they self-identify. Have you heard their humor?
I don't want to. Thank
you. No, don't. It's bad. Like, there's no spice to it at all. It's not even funny. Like, not even a chuckle. That's the thing. That's what's so amazing. Not even a nervous chuckle. It's just that dead.
Is that like that fat comedian chick who is also an actor? What's her name?
I don't know.
Crowder makes fun of him a lot. I don't know. Well, anyway, I can imagine how horrible it is.
Ben Gorgon, cancel culture is here to stay until it's used en masse versus the leftists.
Amy Schumer. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, Amy Schumer. Actually, I think she's not considered a woke. She's considered woke, but she's not considered like one of the woke comedians, like one of the woke stand-up comedians, the ones I'm talking about. You probably wouldn't even know their names. That's how dead these people's careers are from the get-go, because they're trying to make woke humor where it doesn't offend anybody, it doesn't get under anybody's skin, which is impossible.
But isn't this the trend? Like they try to do everything, and in the end, it turns out nobody's supporting them.
Yeah, because there's no soul to it. Like what makes comedy? People think that because comedy makes me laugh, it must mean I support or like this thing. Because I'm smiling, it means that I'm happy about this thing. No, comedy isn't about happy-go-lucky shit. It's about mocking the horrible shit. Like, people say, what's funny about genocide? Nothing. That's why comedians exist. Look at Bill Burr. He has an entire bit, I believe it's his Paper Tiger special, where he's literally he describes how if he were a dictator, how he would like control population and kill people en masse using cruise ships. It's funny as hell. And I recommend everybody look up the bit. It's hilarious. What makes it funny isn't like, oh, yeah, I support him becoming a dictator. No, it's just the hyperbolic, ridiculous nature of it. That's what comedy is. It's taking these crazy, horrific, oftentimes, ideas, putting them under a spotlight, pointing at it and going, "Look how fucking stupid this is," and just speaking of it as from an omniscient point of view.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of comedy.
Tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what comedy is. It's about mocking the horrible shit in our world. That's why we have it. It's so we can actually survive the world. Imagine a world without humor. Imagine if we never made fun of these horrible things.
North Korea. There you go.
We would just live in a horrible, horrible state. Like everyone, suicides would fucking quadruple. Because the thing is, if every day we walk around and we just think of things as seriously as the SJWs want us to, always treat every situation like it must be 100% serious all the fucking time, nobody would be able to survive. It would be a depressing mass. What keeps us alive is our ability to look at the horrible shit in the world, point at it, and say, this is hilarious, look how stupid this is, on concept. That's why we have comedians. That's how we survive, and these fucking woke nutjobs want to tear that down. They want to tear down one of the few ways we can look at the horrible shit in this godforsaken world, and they want to remove the one way we can cope with it, by making fun of it, by mocking it, by putting it down. And I'll never understand that. Never, and it's ridiculous.
Because, again, these people think everything is political. And so they have to try to twist everything into being pro-leftist at all times, regardless of how much it makes sense or not, and regardless, even curiously enough, how much it actually benefits their movement to do so. Because again, these people, like I said, I actually just did a video on a book, an article reviewing the book, where the dude tried to unironically argue that Vietnam veterans suffering from PTSD were faking it for political clout.
Eye roll.
But anyways.
Ben Grogan, what's funny about a grape joke? The joke is that the person joking about it is a bad person and deserves to be laughed at. No, the thing is, there's always been that controversy about the grape joke, and I don't like to make that kind of joke. Like, I definitely think there's certain things that when comedians joke about it, it's hard to get it to work. It's hard, but I don't think you're a bad person if you try and make a grape joke. That's bullshit. You're not a bad person because you try and make fun of it. Like I just said, the essence of comedy is taking the horrible shit, including grape, and putting a spotlight on it and looking at it and saying, look how fucking stupid this is. Now, the essence of a good rape joke is not making fun of the act. It's making fun of the motivation behind it. Like, oh, you're so pathetic of a human being, you have to force somebody to have sex with you. That kind of thing. That's the essence of a quote-unquote good rape joke. And even then, it's really hard to pull off. Because it's one of those things that almost everybody universally agrees is a really steep, difficult subject to tackle in comedy. Well, that's the thing. I don't think a comedian is bad if they fail at the joke. I think that just means that they need to work at it. They need to really think about what about the essence of the joke they're trying to tell is funny. If the comedian emphasizes the wrong thing in that joke, that's instant loss. That's instant. That joke fails instantaneously. And again, I would say to any amateur comedian, don't even try it, especially nowadays, because even if you do pull it off, nowadays you're gonna get canceled instantaneously. Like no heartbeat of distance at all. You're just done.
Speaking of funny jokes, this one popped up on Facebook for me. The CDC says to refrain from handshakes. Jeffrey Dahmer stops the blender.
That one kind of fell flat.
Hey, cannibalism makes it funnier.
I don't know if it does. That one fell flat to me.
I was just trying to get you. I was just trying to get you off topic.
Humor is mental coping mechanism. Remove it and can break people for faster indoctrination. It's true. That's the unfortunate reality of that's probably a big part of why they want to destroy it, because it's one of the few things that keeps our faculties together in the modern day and age, in the modern climate. This schism is a result of ends justify the means versus out the means are only as good as the means. What? Versus out the means are only as good as the means. What?
The means are only as good as the memes.
He didn't say memes though, it's means.
I know, I just want to confuse you.
Okay, so we're supposed to the day we finally lose comedy is the day humanity dies for real. And in a way, yeah. Sam Bob Tim, I wasn't saying we shouldn't, it's about the reason they are attacking comedy. Oh, okay, so what Ben Krogan said earlier was... Okay, he was just posing what the... I guess what the SJWs say about those kind of jokes. Yeah, but again, that's the essence of comedy at the end of the day, is making fun of the horrible shit in our world so we can cope with it better. That's the whole point of it. Alright, though. I think we're going to call a stream there. Any closing thoughts or questions or anything anyone wants to pose before we close out?
Not that I can think of.
Push back, resist. Don't let these idiots get you down. That's
True
it.
that.
Be like Eastern Europeans. Don't be tolerant.
What a way to put that. Ace?
Nothing more for me to really say.
Alrighty. Thanks, everybody, so much for hanging out, for listening to us rant at times and our numerous tangents. Yep, and sum up our perspective on the Valrak thing one last time. Valrak bent the knee and apologized for doing absolutely nothing wrong. He's apologizing for what other people have done, including verbally rickrolling the man. Again, don't have the clip to confirm what we were speculating, but if anyone's got it, send it my way over Discord. Anywho, yep, but Valrak should, from the legal side of things, he made the apology, probably to avoid prosecution in his country, because the UK sucks in that regard. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Geekus Theoreticus podcast. We'll catch you guys next Thursday for the next episode, and we'd love to have you guys. Anyway, bye.
Have a good one.
Goodbye, everybody.